Channel 156 and on the SiriusXM app.
Liverpool are your 2025 Premier League champions, and no one covered their journey like SiriusXM FC.
This year, they've been absolutely untouchable.
This team was the epitome of a team.
From every big moment.
Liverpool with a chance, left foot and it's in! The most dramatic end to this game!
To every major storyline.
Incredible, especially to win it in Anfield is so incredible.
No one brings you closer to the English Premier League than SiriusXM FC. Channel 157 in the car and streaming anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Hey, Jim Rome here. What's cracking?
Hi.
Hope you're enjoying the game, and when you're not taking in a game, find us on Sirius Channel 161, XM Channel 206. In fact, we'll be there every weekday afternoon, 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. If you've got something you want to break down from this game, you know where to find us. Just make sure you have it taken, don't suck.
Step your game up.
That has never changed. In fact, this show has never changed. We're just back home, and it's great to be there. Sirius 161, XM 206. See you there.
This
Slams the ball to right field, way back, way gone!
is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Low rounding and heading for second, the throw! In time!
On the Sportsnet Radio Network.
From Rogers Center in downtown Toronto, the Blue Jays and the Red Sox about to square off in Game 2 of this series and Game 2 of this 6-game homestand. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Show Ali is our host and producer today. Tom Young and Austin Mackey are our technical directors. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Sydney and North Sydney, Nova Scotia. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. A lot of focus on the Blue Jays around the bats, but coming into today, the pitching matchup is probably the most interesting storyline from this game. On the visiting side, Lucas Giolito makes his Red Sox debut and pitches for the first time in about a year and a half on a major league mound. And on the other side, it's a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. Yariel Rodriguez will start the game, but we expect recently called up Eric Lauer to handle a lot of the pitching for Toronto today. First pitch, lineup, standings coming up in just a couple of minutes. The Blue Jays and Red Sox coming up next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, streaming at sportsnet.ca on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You could bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Lights up, let's go to Junior J Sundays. It's family fun throughout the ballpark with games and activities that your squad will never forget.
Feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Hear every game of the NBA playoffs on SiriusXM.
He's going to fire up a three for the win!
Don't miss a second of the action all the way through the NBA Finals.
Tatum has to force a three at the buzzer, and he got it!
And throughout the playoffs, get closer to the storylines that matter on NBA Radio, Channel 86.
There are certain guys that you need to be a part of your roster to win NBA championships.
Listen to home and away broadcasts of every NBA playoff game on your radio and the SiriusXM app.
It's a Grand Slam roar at Augusta National.
Your home for golf's biggest events is PGA Tour Radio, Channel 92 in the car, and on the SiriusXM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Blue Jays and Red Sox about to get going from Rogers Center. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Chris, we've talked about it a little bit, but it's still a big thing. The Blue Jays yesterday, 2 runs on 4 hits. It was a really good pitcher in Garrett Crochet, the lefty going for the Red Sox yesterday. And not that Lucas Giolito isn't talented going today in his Red Sox debut, but the Blue Jays got to get this going with the bats sooner rather than later.
Yeah, very different pitchers. And I know that Lucas Giolito has been good in his career at times. He's had 2 very good seasons in his 9+ years in the major leagues, but he's no Garrett Crochet. So if I'm the Blue Jays offense, I'm really trying to put pressure on Lucas Giolito. He kind of had some speed bumps in his rehab outings. He walked 10 guys in 10 innings in AAA in Worcester in his 3 games started in his rehab for the Boston Red Sox. So you have to put pressure on him. You have to come up with the idea of putting together good at-bats, and I'm sure the Blue Jays will get some big hits today.
We're going to go to the lineups in a sec, but first, the Bet365 standings. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19+ play responsibly. Ontario only. The Yankees 18-12 leading the division. The Red Sox 17-14, a game and a half back. In third, the Rays are 14-15 with the 13-16 Blue Jays in fourth. And the Orioles 11-18 are in fifth. With Boston hitting first, Chris, let's take a look at Alex Cora's Red Sox lineup.
Well, leading off is Jarren Duran. He's in left field. Batting second is Rafael Devers. He'll be DHing tonight. Batting third is Alex Bregman. He's at third base. At shortstop in the cleanup spot is Trevor Story. Batting fifth is Wilyer Abreu. He's in right field. At second base is Christian Campbell. He's hitting sixth. Hitting seventh is Tristan Casas. He'll be at first base. In center field is Cedon Rafaela. He's batting eighth. And hitting ninth is Carlos Narvaez. He's doing the catching tonight. On the mound making his first start of 2025 is Lucas Giolito. For the Toronto Blue Jays, leading off is Bo Bichette. He's at shortstop. Batting second is Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He'll be at first base. DHing, batting third is Anthony Santander. In the cleanup spot is George Springer. He's in left field. Batting fifth is Dalton Varsho. He'll be in center field. Behind the dish is Alejandro Kirk. He's hitting sixth. Hitting seventh is Addison Barger. He's in right field. At second base, hitting eighth, is Andres Jimenez. And batting ninth is Ernie Clement. He'll be at third base tonight. On the mound, opening for the Blue Jays, is Yariel Rodriguez.
28-year-old from Cuba, 6 foot tall, 165 pounds, beard connected all the way up to the sideburns, and a guy who's used to starting games, made 21 starts last year to an ERA just below 4.5. As a reliever this year, he's just over 4.5 with the ERA in 11 2/3 innings pitched. He shrugs his shoulders in the powder blue jersey and pants for the Blue Jays. Red Sox in the road grays. Rodriguez set. Jarren Duran leading off, and the right on left pitch is hit away foul. 0-1. Time of the first pitch today, 7:07. Roof is closed at Rogers Center again. It was a nice day today. A lot of sun, but a little chillier. It's 9 degrees at time of first pitch. Rodriguez is 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Yariel Rodriguez, although he has been a windup guy often in the past, is working from the stretch here with nobody on base. Right-hander takes a breath, kicks, and deals. Hit foul right side through the legs of Duran and toward the Blue Jays, the Red Sox dugout, 1-2.
Well, I'm sure Pete Walker and John Schneider told Yariel Rodriguez, hey, treat this like this is the 7th inning, the 8th inning. Don't mess around, throw strikes. I like what he's done so far. Small sample size, though.
3 pitches. Better to have a good 3, though, than a tough 3. Righty tucks the ball into his glove. Dark blue glove is belt high. And is 1-2. High. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you could see he was trying to throw that split finger, but he threw it like a pizza. Got underneath it, and it kind of floated to the top of that strike zone. His
2-2. Inside, ball 3. For Rodriguez, it's four-seamer, slider, sinker, and splitter. He threw a curveball last year as a starter. He hasn't thrown the curveball so far this season. Facing the left-handed hitter, left fielder Jarren Duran. 3-2 pitch. Fouled away. Pretty good pitch just off the plate outside. Even better swing from Duran to hit it into the backstop.
Yeah, that's a really good approach from Jarren Duran. Not trying to get a base hit on that pitch, just trying to foul it off and stay alive. That was a tough pitch just off the plate outside.
It was 96 with the four-seam fastball. Rodriguez comes back with another 3-2. High, ball 4. John Schneider mentioned today that Yariel Rodriguez is treating this, or they told him to treat it, more like a relief outing than his start. You can see with the 95, 96 on the fastball, he's not going to save anything or worry about second time through like he would have last year as a starter.
But we have seen with runners on base, specifically fast runners like Jarren Duran, he starts to speed up a little bit.
His pitch to Rafael Devers is high, ball 1.
And then his fastball, his off-speed stuff tends to get a little bit higher, just like that first pitch fastball. It was above the strike zone.
Rodriguez nods. Duran leads off first. Devers hitting from the left side. 1-0 pitch is outside by a decent margin, 2-0.
And you can see he's trying to be too quick to home plate. And what happens is that arm drags, and then you'll see a lot of arm side high fastballs, just like that second pitch.
Yariel steps off, throws to first, and a dive back in by Duran. Jarren Duran has swiped 9 bags so far this year. Rodriguez ready to go, set on the first base side of the rubber. His 2-0 to Devers. Swing and a miss. Beat him with elevated 96, 2-1.
Devers was sitting dead red on that fastball. I think Yariel Rodriguez got lucky that it was a little bit up and a little bit out. Just missed that pitch.
Devers hit his 5th home run of the season yesterday in a 1-for-4 day that also included a walk. Big left-handed hitter, wide open stance, DHing again for the Red Sox as he's done all year. Infield shifted heavily to pull. Bo Bichette up the middle. Duran takes off on the 2-1, and that one is tagged. Deep right field. Racing back Barger. It's off the wall. Duran had to wait. He'll hustle up to third base. Throw into second. Duran coming to the plate. Bichette to home. And they got him. Jarren Duran with an aggressive move to the plate after he had stopped and started in between second and third. And Bo Bichette brought in the throw from Barger, spun, and got Duran by a couple of steps at home.
Well, that might be the break that the Blue Jays need. A huge out in this game, in this series, really in their season. A huge confidence boost to this game. Bo Bichette with a great throw home to get Jarren Duran. Jarren Duran should not have been trying to score on that play. He needs to stay at third base with nobody out in this inning.
And Alex Bregman coming up.
Right.
It's a curious send to me. I'm going to look in between innings to see if he was sent or if he just went himself. Pitch to Alex Bregman, down and away, ball 1.
I was watching the play at second, so I didn't see Jarren Duran try to round third base. I actually thought there was no chance that he would attempt to score on that throw.
So 1 out after the Devers double. Devers on second. No score, top of the first. 1-0 to Bregman. Skips behind him into the backstop. Up to third base goes Devers. No intent there throwing behind Alex Bregman, but just a lack of control for Yariel Rodriguez so far.
I have to admit, it's very rare for a major league pitcher to be that wild with a fastball. That was nowhere near Alejandro Kirk's glove. It was actually behind Alex Bregman.
Yariel Rodriguez just stepped off the hill and he balked. Derek Thomas calling the balk. I think they're saying too many disengagements. John Schneider's going to go out and talk to Thomas. Because I think there's a little bit of confusion. Maybe it isn't too many disengagements. It wouldn't be if a runner has moved up bases. Taking a look again. Oh, and there's the issue. Rodriguez had come set. Kirk stood up from behind the plate, telling him to step off. And Rodriguez kicked the leg up and then put it back down.
Yeah, that's very obvious.
So that's a balk for sure. And the Red Sox go up 1-0.
I actually thought that Alejandro Kirk had called time. That's why I didn't think that was a balk.
Next pitch to Bregman, called a strike. It's 2-1. So right after the Blue Jays get the gift of the over-aggressive base running by the Red Sox, wild pitch and balk, and Boston ends up scoring. Base is empty, 1 out, 1-0, top of the first. 2-1 pitch to Bregman. Hammered, left field, way gone. A deep home run from Alex Bregman, and it's deja vu as the Red Sox take a 2-0 first inning lead.
Well, that was just a hanging slider right down the middle, and Alex Bregman, who has been so hot this season, 3 for 5 last night with a home run. He's hitting .331 coming into this ball game. Absolutely mashed that baseball to left field.
It's the second game in a row that Bregman hits a first inning homer. And second game in a row in this series that the Red Sox open up a 2-0 lead with only 1 out in the first.
That slider was right down Broadway.
Number 7 of the year for Bregman, who's driven in 24 now on the season. The pitch to Trevor Story. Fastball for a strike. So 2-0 Boston, 1 out, top of the first. Rodriguez kicks and deals, and it's hit on the ground up the middle. Running to his left, Bo Bichette picks it up, throws across his body to first, and makes the play. 2 outs.
Nice play from Bo Bichette, throwing across his body, kind of a sidearm throw to first base. A really tough play, throwing it right to Guerrero's chest at first base for the second out of the inning.
A couple nice plays up the middle for Bo yesterday, starting off with a good one today. And trying to get himself up to the plate. He'll lead off in the bottom of the first. There's 2 outs in the top of the first. 2-0 Boston. The pitch to Wilyer Abreu. Left-handed hitter with a check swing roller foul. 0-1.
Did you see that bat flip from Alex Bregman on the replay?
I did not.
That's a don't you dare throw behind me bat flip. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. I couldn't think of a possible reason why Yariel Rodriguez would be intentionally throwing behind Alex Bregman, but it's possible. You never know.
I'm not saying he did it intentionally. I'm just saying guys don't like when the ball goes whizzing behind them like that.
1-1 pitch outside, 2-1. Abreu, left-handed hitting right fielder, blew the game open yesterday with a 3-run homer in the third. He ended up with a walk and 2 more hits after that. The 2-1. Outside, ball 3. Right fielder and sophomore for the Red Sox, Abreu, batting .293 now with 6 homers and 21 driven in. He faces a 3-1. Called strike. Fastball on the outside edge. Full count.
Ben, this is a really tough lineup to navigate. I know that the Red Sox have been hitting a lot of home runs recently, but just looking at this lineup, 1 through 8 really is just a tough AB for any pitcher.
Boston has scored more runs than anyone since April 1st in the majors, over 140. 3-2. Fouled right back. It'll land under our feet. Into the first rows of the 200 level, right behind home plate. Two outs, space is empty. 2-0 Boston. Top of the first. Another 3-2. Fastball high, ball 4.
Alejandro Kirk did everything he could to try to frame that pitch, bring it down a couple inches, but it was a little bit too high for Derek Thomas, the home plate umpire.
It's Thomas behind the plate, Eric Backus at first, crew chief Brian O'Nora at second, and Mike Estabrook at third. Mound visit right now. Pete Walker and Hector LeBron going out to talk to Yariel Rodriguez in this first inning, which is brought to you by Armstrong Bird Food. Armstrong Bird Food, the reason birds fly north. Feeding Blue Jays since 1986. Visit ArmstrongBirdFood.com. John Schneider did not specify how deep Yariel Rodriguez would go today, but he's already thrown 24 pitches, and there's no one up in the Toronto bullpen right now. So in theory, he's got a little more leash. Maybe he gets up to somewhere in the neighborhood of 40.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe 50. 50 sounds like a little bit too many. I would say 40, 45. That sounds about right to me. Again, he's not stretched out, right?
No.
The Blue Jays have been using him as a 1 or 1 and a third type of reliever.
His pitch to Christian Campbell is called a strike, 0-1. Christian Campbell, the second baseman for the Red Sox, batting right. 2 outs, Abreu on first. 2-0 Boston. Rodriguez kicks and deals. Called a strike, 0-2.
Abreu has 4 stolen bases this season, so you have to at least try to keep an eye on him over there at first base.
Guerrero holding him on, but he's got a pretty big lead. 3.5, maybe 4 steps off first. The 0-2. Bounce to the plate, picked by Kirk. Your point, though, on the Rodriguez length. He had length coming into the year, but if you don't maintain that, it does diminish over time.
Right, and I think the Blue Jays like him as a later inning reliever. You look at his numbers in Japan, you obviously have to like that. You look at the velo on the fastball.
1-2 is rolled over foul. Still a ball and 2 strikes.
He just looks better as a reliever, to me anyways. Watching games, he's still a little bit uncomfortable when guys get on base, like I talked about earlier. He tries to be too quick to home plate, and then he ends up losing command of that fastball. But I think that his stuff it's just perfect in the back end of a bullpen if you can really harness the fastball.
Throws over to first. Guerrero pretending it got by him. Doesn't fool Abreu, who dove back in safely. He remains on first base with 2 outs.
I think Abreu was actually laughing at him.
I'm not sure anyone's been fooled by that in a while. But if you want to try it, go ahead. 2-0 Boston, top of the first. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him on the slider, but the Red Sox strike for a pair. Devers scores on a balk, and then a solo home run from Alex Bregman. It's 2-0 Boston, middle of the first. Bichette, Guerrero, Santander to hit when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Gary, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong Bird Food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at ArmstrongBirdFood.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer started right, coming in, leaps and makes the catch full stretch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Lucas Giolito on the hill for the Red Sox in his Boston debut, with Boston up 2-0, bottom of the first. Right-hander winds and offers to Bo Bichette. And he misses just low, ball 1. For Giolito, his first start since October 1st, 2023. Nearly 600 days ago. 1-0. Swinging a bouncing ball up the middle and into center field, a base hit. Bichette put that just off to the left of the second base bag, and that worked well because Christian Campbell, the second baseman, nearly raced across the bag to cut it off.
And now you have to put pressure on him. I know that Lucas Giolito has been in the league for a long time, almost 10 years. But like you said, he hasn't thrown in a big league game in almost 600 days. So that heart rate is going to speed up. He's going to be worried about Bo Bichette on base, and he's not going to make his pitches to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That's just how baseball works.
Vladdy in the righty box. Giolito from the stretch, the pitch. Called strike. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. That's former Major League reliever Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Austin Mackey, Tom Young, our technical directors today. Show Ali, our host and producer. 2-0 Boston. Bichette on first. Nobody out. 0-1. Vladdy takes inside. Mix for Giolito is a four-seamer, changeup, a slider, and a curve. He's low to mid-90s with the fastball. Nothing incredibly overpowering. His 1-1. Outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
And again, I know it's a small sample size. He's only thrown a few pitches, but his stuff is a little bit down from when I last saw him in 2023 when he was completely healthy. So the Blue Jays have to take advantage of that.
Right-hander kicks and offers. Swing and a miss. Got Vladdy out in front on the changeup, 2-2.
That's the bread and butter right there. I've always loved his changeup. 82 miles an hour. It's almost 12 miles an hour difference than his fastball.
2 ball, 2 strike pitch. Popped up. Just back his second base. Campbell onto the right field turf. Makes the catch running to his left. 1 out.
Really nice changeup. So 2 back-to-back changeups just ate up Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That tells you just how good that changeup is. Great arm speed, and then it kind of just fades in on righties.
Makes it particularly tough, too, for left-handed hitters. Typically, Giolito with some reverse splits. Lefties are going to hit a little less than him against him than righties are. Santander batting from the left side. The pitch to the switch hitter with a runner on first. Called strike. Bo Bichette with the leadoff single. Talking right now with Tristan Casas, the Red Sox first baseman. 2-0 Boston. 1 out, bottom of the first. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. High and tight fastball gets the whiff from Santander. 0-2. Thick beard for the right-hander Giolito. He kicks and offers. And misses low. Lucas Giolito, 30 years old. Been in the major league since 2016 when he debuted as a 21-year-old with Washington. Most of his career with the White Sox. 1-2 pitch. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That velo's ticking up just a little bit. That last four-seamer was 94.4 miles an hour.
He peaked at 95 in his last rehab outing. He probably, every once in a while, might have 96 as well. He's a guy who's managed to strike out a lot of hitters in his career without necessarily relying on overpowering velocity. His 2-2. Swinging a line drive, foul, right side.
Well, he's kind of got a weird delivery. Not so much the delivery, it's just the arm. It's almost like a T-Rex arm, and then the ball kind of comes out. So it's got to be awkward to hit against him.
Big guy as well, 6'6", 245 pounds. Native of Santa Monica, California. Shakes off the first sign, now nods in agreement with Narvaez. 2-2. Hit away, foul. Last second swing there by Santander, and he bounced it to the third base dugout.
Well, Santander very clearly was expecting a changeup there, and he realized it was a fastball really right down the middle at the last second, and then kind of swung the bat quickly at it and fouled it off to stay alive.
Another 2-2. Called strike 3. Great pitch on the inside edge. First strikeout of the season for Lucas Giolito.
Well, Santander quickly turned around to Derek Thomas, the home plate umpire, and said, was that down? Was that down? And it was not down. That was a perfect pitch right on the black on the inside part of the plate.
So 2 down in Giolito's first inning of work since 2023. Bo Bichette on first base. 2-0 Boston, bottom 1. The pitch to George Springer. Outside, ball 1. Giolito looks a little different than the last time we saw him on a major league mound. He's got a significantly thicker beard than he did before. Righty's 1-0. Springer takes it inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
He is a gigantic human.
Big guy.
6'6", almost 250 pounds out there.
16th overall pick in 2012 out of Harvard Westlake High School in Los Angeles. Reddy's 2-0. Bounced foul, 2-1.
This will tell you how big he is. Do you know his nickname? At least what it says on the internet.
I have it in front of me.
Oh, you have it in front of you.
I do. Right. Bigfoot?
Bigfoot. That'll if that doesn't tell you that guy is a big dude, I don't know what will.
Right-hander sets at the belt. Kicks and offers. And misses just off the plate outside. 3 balls and a strike. Six and a half seasons with the White Sox for Lucas Giolito. Spent a little time with the Angels and the Guardians in 2023 as well. His 3-1. Down and away, ball 4, and George Springer has a 2-out walk.
How about that? A 3-1 changeup to George Springer. George Springer really didn't offer at it at all. Kind of just stood still in that batter's box.
It was almost like he said down 3-1 to Springer, who's been hitting so well. Maybe you just take your shot with a left-handed hitter who's just coming back. And
maybe, yeah. Or maybe he's just so confident with that changeup that he's willing to throw it behind in the count like that.
Alex Bregman pinching in a little from third base as Varsho enters to the batter's box. The pitch. Called strike. Runners on first and second. Springer on first. Bichette on second. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Red Sox. Giolito looks at second and deals. Misses low. Dalton Varsho made his season debut yesterday. Ended up going 0 for 3. Did have a walk in the game against Garrett Crochet. 1-1 pitch. Fouled off well out in front of what was a changeup right down the middle, 1-2.
That was a little cue shot into foul territory down that third baseline. That tells you how good that changeup really is. There should be an asterisk next to Dalton Varsho's game yesterday because he had to face Garrett Crochet his first game back.
It's tough. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Beats him with an elevated fastball. 2 strikeouts for Giolito. Around a hit and a walk, he makes it a scoreless return to the big leagues. 2-0 after an inning. We go to the second at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey there, this is John Mayer. I was recently lucky enough to be able to raise money and awareness for the devastating wildfires in Los Angeles under the name Fire Aid. And to date, it has raised over $100 million. Featured performances by myself, along with Lady Gaga, Billie Eilish, Green Day, and many more. And if you've missed it, I would love the chance.
Cheers, Insiders! Thank you for hanging out with us tonight for the Toronto Blue Jays matchup against the Boston Red Sox. Go Jays, go! It's going to be a great game, and we are so thankful that you chose to hang out here on Toronto Sports Insider. What's up, sports fans? Thanks so much for hanging out with us tonight for another night of the Playoff Pulse campaign here on Toronto Sports Insider and Sons of a Pitch Soccer Central. Got to check out with the new notebook. It's come in handy with all of the scheduling. Tonight we have 3 lives here on TSI as we prepare for our Leafs Game 6 tomorrow night. That's the big one. But the 3 matchups here on TSI, Montreal and Washington. We have our Blue Jays, our struggling Blue Jays against the Boston Red Sox. And then we have St. Louis and Winnipeg in the nightcap here on TSI. And the 2 games over on SOP Soccer Central are as follows. Hockey, Florida Panthers and Tampa Bay Lightning. And then the basketball game of the night, the Minnesota Timberwolves against the LA Lakers. We really appreciate you hanging out with us. We had to tone down the playoff pulse a little bit. We can't do every single game. We just have to stick with the big matchups and trying to keep every single sport covered and get ready for the big matchups like tomorrow night with the Maple Leafs. We've got to go get that W in Ottawa tomorrow night. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting that like button, subscribing if you're new, and we'll see you back in the chat.
Into the wind and the 1-0. Called strike 1-1. Lauer pitched 2 years with the San Diego Padres, 18 and 19. He made over 50 starts in those years combined, and then parts of 4 different seasons for the Brewers. 1-1. Check swing on the curveball. Pitch was low. Appeal down to third. He didn't go. 2-1.
And we saw him, well, I saw him specifically in spring training against the Baltimore Orioles. He looked pretty good. Started against the Orioles. I forget the exact date that it was, but it looked pretty good to me.
He's got a wide array of pitches, Eric Lauer. Throws a 4-seamer, cutter, slider, curve, changeup. Left-handers 2-1. Hit high in the air down the left field line, headed toward the corner. It's going to fade out of play into the seats. 2-2. A guy who, in 2 years for Milwaukee, was an incredibly effective starter. 2021 and 2022 is 2-2. Foul tip, strike 3. He strikes out Tristan Casas. Pretty good start to the day as the changeup ran in on the hands.
Yeah, that was a changeup, something you don't really see that often from lefties. Usually you don't see a left-on-left changeup, and Eric Lauer flips that in there right underneath the bat of Tristan Casas.
Lauer looking in now at Cedon Rafaela. First pitch, cut on and missed. Strike 1. For those 2 years for Lauer, 2021, 2022, made 49 starts, had a 3.5 ERA and almost 300 innings. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Nothing in 2. Then Lauer dealt with injury and tough performance coming back from it. Ended up in Korea last season, but returned to affiliated ball this year with the Blue Jays. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. One out, top of the second. 2-0 for the Red Sox with the bases empty. Lauer waves off a couple signs. I believe he's waved off 4 pitches. Now nods, whines, and offers. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. He wanted the fastball there. They'll do it again at 1-2.
Not a bad fastball velocity there, 93 miles an hour. If you mix the 93 well located with the pretty good changeup that he has, I think he can be really effective. That's a good location down at the bottom of the strike zone.
Another 1-2. In the dirt. Looked like he threw the change there, but didn't get it to the right spot. Pardon me, that was the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Lefty steps, kicks, and deals. High and outside, ball 3. Black glove for Lauer, white cleats. Left-handers 3-2. Popped up, foul, first base side. over the first base dugout. It'll bounce off the roof and go into the seats by 6 or 7 rows.
The thing that I like about Eric Lauer so far early on in his outing is he looks comfortable. He looks like a big leaguer. He looks like a guy that's thrown almost 600 big league innings, and that's really what the Blue Jays are looking for today. Just kind of a confident guy that can pound the strike zone, and he's done that so far.
Lefty's payoff. Down low, ball 4. Walks Raffaello with 1 out.
I don't love that pitch. There's nobody on base. It's early on in your outing. It's early on in the ball game. Just pound the bottom of the strike zone with something hard. If he hits a home run, sure. Just tip your cap. You hit a home run. But more often than not, if you locate that fastball, he probably won't barrel it up. And I just don't love the changeup down right there.
So Raffaella on first because of that changeup miss. 6 stolen bases for him this year. The pitch to Carlos Narvaez is low. Ball 1. The second inning presented by Bet365. With Bet365, you can watch thousands of live games, build your own bet, and you can even make a bet while the game's still being played. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. 1 out, runner on first. 2-0 Boston. 1-0 pitch to Carlos Narvaez. No, it's going to be a step and throw over to first, and the ball over the head of Raffaella, who didn't get up quickly enough to go anywhere. I think that actually might have hit Raffaella and skipped away. He's holding his right side right now in kind of the rib cage, abdomen area.
I believe that throw got him right in the rib cage. Didn't bounce, didn't clip off Vlad's glove. That just directly hit him right in that right rib cage. No wonder he didn't get up and try to go to second base.
Jose David Flores, the first base coach, was waving him over, but he didn't move anywhere. He is smiling, it looks like, as he talks with Alex Cora, training staff, Jose David Flores, and Vladdy. And it looks like they're going to leave him in. Cora pats him on the left shoulder, and Raffaella puts his helmet back on, so he's all good to go.
Well, if you're Eric Lauer, don't forget about him. Just because you hit him in the ribs doesn't mean he's not going to go. Guy has 6 stolen bases this season already.
And has not been caught yet. The 1-0, Raffaella goes. Pitch inside a ball. Throw down to second. Not in time. Pretty good throw from Kirk. Tag applied on the leg by Andres Jimenez, but the speed of Raffaella seems to have beaten it out.
I knew it. I knew it. I guarantee that Cedar Raffaella was thinking, these guys are forgetting about me. They don't think I'm going. They think I'm hurting right now. I'm going to take off, and he did exactly that.
So
pretty good throw from Kirk, though.
Yeah, I don't think you can complain about Kirk's involvement there. I think Raffaella just went first move. And so he gets in there, stolen base 7 of the season. And the 2-0 now to Narvaez is hit on the ground at third base. Stopped there by Clement. Crow hop and throw to first, and a stretch by Guerrero to bring it in. Raffaella remains on second base, 2 outs.
Nice job from Ernie Clement looking back Cedar Raffaella at second base, making sure that he was going back to second base before he threw that baseball across the diamond, keeping Raffaella at second.
So 2 outs, Raffaella still at second. 2-0 Boston. And Jarren Duran hitting in the top of the second. Left on left, the pitch. Hit high in the air, foul left side, and into the seats. It's 0-1. Duran walked in a full count in the first and was thrown out trying to score from first on a Rafael Devers double. Throw went Barger to Bichette to Kirk. 0-1. Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Left-handed hitter taps the plate twice, points the bat up toward the roof of the building, and now gets into his stance. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1-2.
Really nice pitch there, just off the plate outside. It says four-seam fastball. I think that was more of a cutter.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. 88 would be pretty slow for his fastball, and it did seem to be breaking away from the left-handed hitter.
And it did have a little bit of cut to it, so I'm going to say it's a cutter.
Yeah. Don't trust the robots. You're better than the AI. With 2 down, the 1-2. Just outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, good take right there from Duran. That was actually a pretty good pitch from Lauer. Another cutter just off the plate.
Lauer looks back at Rafaela on second. And the 2-2. Down and away, ball 3.
Usually I would say you have to be careful here to Jarren Duran. But Rafael Devers is standing on deck. So I'm coming right at Jarren Duran if I'm Eric Lauer.
Lauer's payoff pitch. Lined left side over the head of Bo Bichette down in left field, a base hit. Rafaela around third. He'll score. It's an RBI single for Duran. It's 3-0 Boston, top of the second.
Boy, is he fast. Cedon Rafaela was flying around third base. No chance for George Springer to even make a throw to home plate to get him. But just another really good swing from Jarren Duran. Didn't try to do too much. It was a tough cutter off the plate, and he just found a way to dump that thing in front of George Springer in left field.
So 3-0 Boston, 2 outs, runner on first, top of the second. Lauer to Devers. Swing and a miss. Yesterday it was all about solo home runs. First 4 runs for Boston were on solo home runs. Today it's been a little different, but it does feel kind of the same with Boston up 3-0 in the top of the second, just like they were yesterday. 0-1 pitch. High, 1 ball, 1 strike. Devers hit his 9th double of the season in the first inning, scored the game's first run on a Yariel Rodriguez balk. 1-1, Duran takes off. Pitch is swung on and missed. Throw down to second. Sails off the glove of Bichette into right center. Duran is up, and he'll race over to third. He was going to beat that throw out. The ball tailed as it was out of the hand of Kirk and started moving toward right field. Bo Bichette tried to get to it, but it hit the top of his glove and ran away onto the turf.
I mean, that was one of those ones, if you're a catcher, if you're Alejandro Kirk, I mean, you just keep that ball and you put it in your back pocket. Don't even try to throw it because Jarren Duran got such a good jump on that stolen base.
So runner on third now, 2 outs. And the 1-2 to Devers. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Error goes against Alejandro Kirk, by the way, the throwing error after the stolen base. Two in the dirt, ball 3. Even on third, you got to keep an eye on Jarren Duran. In the last week, he pulled off a straight steal of home plate. The first of 2 steals of home that the Boston would have on consecutive days. Romy Gonzalez did it a day after Duran. 3-2 pitch. Popped up, back behind the plate. Into the seats, foul. Still 3-2.
Jarren Duran is just an exciting player. He's a guy that I want on my roster. If I was putting a team together, Jarren Duran would be one of my starting 9. Maybe not my starting 9. Maybe my 26-man roster.
It's pretty close, I have to say. I mean, he's really good. The 3-2. Hit well left center field. Varsho racing back at the warning track. That ball's off the top of the wall. Duran scores. Devers up to second base. Slides in with an RBI double. It's 4-0 Boston in the second.
Well, the thing that I've noticed so far with Eric Lauer, the stuff is good. The stuff is fine. It's the fact that he hasn't come in yet to anybody. He's just living outside. So the Boston Red Sox are just looking outside. Yeah, that's just a cutter out on the outer third of the plate. He's thrown a lot of that same pitch. You have to mix it up. You have to move their feet, especially to big guys like Rafael Devers, to Alex Bregman.
Pete Walker's going to come out to the mound now and talk with Lauer, whose next pitch will be his 30th of this inning. Blue Jays pitchers have not fared well so far, allowing 4 runs in an inning and 2/3. And you had 29 pitches in an inning from Yariel Rodriguez. Lauer will throw more than that in this inning unless he turns around and picks off Devers to get the final out. Red Sox 4, Blue Jays nothing. Top of the second inning. Devers on second with 2 outs.
Alex Bregman hit a solo home run in the first inning. He's hitting .336 this season. So that's probably a guy that if I fall behind, I start to pitch around him a little bit. I'd rather face Trevor Story.
Lauer to Bregman. Called strike. Bregman with 7 home runs now to go along with his 11 doubles, 24 RBIs. He has been fantastic. Oh, 1. A little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He's just so confident in that batter's box. That was actually a really nice changeup from Eric Lauer, and he didn't even think about offering at that pitch.
Left on right, the 1-1. High. 2 balls, 1 strike. Part of the reason Bregman is doing so well right now, he is really spitting on anything he doesn't want to swing at. He's got the lowest chase rate in the American League, swinging at fewer than 20% of the pitches outside of the zone. The 2-1. Called strike, 2-2.
Another nice fastball there, just at the top corner of that strike zone on the outside part of the plate. It's a big pitch here.
2 runs this inning for Boston. 4-0 the lead for the Red Sox. 2 outs, Devers on second. Lauer's 2-2 to Alex Bregman. High and outside, ball 3.
I don't know if you've noticed, Ben, but everything has been middle away. Every single pitch, regardless of what it is, middle away.
The 3-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Got him to wave over a slider. Lauer strikes out Bregman, but the Red Sox do strike for 2 on a pair of hits. 1 error by the Blue Jays, 1 left by Boston. 4-0 for the Red Sox. Middle of the second. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart. Locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Barry, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are here, and they're only on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Plus.
The stage is set.
Round 1, new rivalries emerge.
Not going to take long to heat up here.
And old ones intensify.
You got to love playoff hockey, don't you?
16 teams, 1 champion. Will this be the year Stanley comes back to Canada?
Strap yourselves in for the best ride in sports.
You can feel the intensity.
Watch every game only on Sportsnet.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Here for the Cup.
Hey, this is Bo Bichette. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Scary, spooky, hilarious, crazy, scary, spooky.
Bottom of the second inning, Red Sox 4, Blue Jays nothing. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Lucas Giolito deals to Alejandro Kirk and misses up and in. Ball 1. Kirk, Barger, Jimenez, right-handed hitter, and then a pair of lefties for the Blue Jays this inning. Giolito facing the plate, steps to the left, twists, and offers. Swinging a ground ball through the legs of the pitcher off the hill. It bounces to Christian Campbell, and the second baseman throws over to first. 1 out.
Well, Christian Campbell was placed perfectly, kind of shifting towards the third base side, almost behind second base, but that's just unlucky for Alejandro Kirk.
And a little bit lucky for Giolito that he got out of the way of that ball. First start with the Red Sox after being on the injured list for over a year with Boston. Now the righty has 4 outs under his belt. His pitch to Addison Barger. Low ball 1. For Giolito, he signed with the Red Sox last year. Technically was a 1-year, $19 million deal, but he had a player option for this season. 1-0. Low 2-0. Ended up needing surgery on his UCL after sustaining an injury early on with Boston. Got the internal brace, less invasive than Tommy John. Righty's 2-0. Swing and a mile-high pop-up, middle of the infield. Back on the outfield turf is Trevor Story to make the catch, 2 down. So Giolito missed all of last year with the UCL injury. Certainly opts in for another $19 million this season. But on the first pitch he threw in spring this year, where he was presumably healthy, he felt tightness in his left hamstring, completed an inning, but didn't throw at all again in a game in spring. Finally back now. 2 outs, his pitch to Andres Jimenez, called a strike, 0-1. Right on left, the 0-1 pitch. Fouled off, under our feet into the seats, 0-2.
I mean, he's looked pretty good so far. The reports that we got from his rehab outings were kind of wishy-washy, up and down. Like I said, in Worcester and AAA for Boston, he walked 10 guys in his 10 innings, so not great, but he's looked solid tonight.
His 0-2. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. If you look at all of his rehab outings between AA and AAA, in ERA over 5. Opponents hit about 270 against him. Rehab outings have some weird stuff, but you'd rather be good than bad. 1-2 pitch is hit to the right, fouled, still 1-2.
It's kind of like spring training where you're working on things. You're throwing pitches that you normally wouldn't throw. Again, you're kind of working yourself up, so you're not 100% to start, and you're hopefully 100% by the end of the rehab outings. Not a huge deal.
His 1-2. Poked away, foul to the left.
But like you said, you'd rather be good than bad.
Giolito goes to the back of the hill after delivering that pitch to Jimenez. Gets a little rosin on his right hand. Towering 6'6" righty brings the glove to his face. His 1-2 again. Called strike 3. Dropped by the catcher Narvaez, who picks it up in fair territory and throws over to first to get Jimenez and end a 1-2-3 inning. 2 scoreless so far for Giolito in his return to the big leagues. 4-0 Red Sox. They lead after 2 innings. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL 3-topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Go to pizzapizza.ca.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, where every nail-biting overtime win. 365. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Marshall smashes the ball to right field. It's gone!
On
Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
4-0 Red Sox. Welcome back to downtown Toronto. Top of the third inning. Trevor Story leading off for Boston. Eric Lauer still on the hill. The lefty deals to Story. And the first pitch is lined foul just over the leap of the third baseman Clement. But luckily for the Blue Jays, it hooked wide of the chalk. 0-1. Second time up today for Story. He grounded out in the first. Open stance for the right-handed hitter. Here's the 0-1. Hit foul off to the right behind home plate. 0-2.
Eric Lauer just threw his 37th pitch of his outing. 20 strikes, 17 balls. It's a lot of pitches.
35 in that second. The Blue Jays will hope for him to be more efficient going forward on a bullpen day already. Blue Jays' next off day doesn't come until Monday. 0-2. Downstairs, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty Lauer winds and offers. And the 1-2 is swatted away to the right, out of play, foul. Dropping into the back rows of the 100 level near first base.
And I like that pitch attempt right there. It was a fastball that they were trying to get in on Trevor Story. Didn't quite get it in, but you could see Alejandro Kirk set up and in, up at the hands of Trevor Story. I like that location. They're about to do it again.
Another 1-2 is fouled away.
That was a slider, but still inside. I like that you're coming inside. You're at least attempting to throw something inside.
Lauer stretches out his arms, has his glove pressed to his stomach. Steps back, kicks and offers. And he missed inside, 2-2. Infield playing to pull. Outfield is playing slightly to pull. Dalton Varsho just left of center. 2-2. Hit to center field in the air. Varsho running toward right center. Slows up and makes a one-handed catch. 1 out. Circus play made all the headlines for Dalton Varsho yesterday, but he had a fairly active day overall in center field. And besides the circus catch, looked like his usual self.
Yeah, and I mean, he looked great out in the outfield, and he actually looked okay at the plate against Garrett Crochet. That's what I was most impressed with, along with the circus catch.
1 out, the pitch to Wilyer Abreu. Down and in, ball 1. Abreu with a walk in the first inning. No at-bats today. Left on left pitch. High, 2 balls, no strikes. Red elbow guard, red shin guard for Wilyer Abreu. 2-0. He swings and fouls it away. Left-handed hitter starts pretty open, so he steps toward the plate and also out toward the pitcher. A diagonal motion bringing him forward. Waggling the bat above his left shoulder, he awaits a 2-1. Outside, 3 balls, 1 strike. On deck is the second baseman, Christian Campbell. 1 out, bases empty, top of the third. The pitch. Fouled off the glove of Kirk. Ducking out of the way was Derek Thomas, the home plate ump. 3-2. Abreu stepped out of the box for a moment, now back in, twirls the bat around, brings it above his shoulder. 3-2 pitch. Just low, ball 4, second walk of the day for Wilyer Abreu.
Wasn't a bad pitch, but again, it's an off-speed pitch. That was a cut fastball, I think. Said it was a 4-seam fastball, but I think that was a cutter. Again, there's nobody on base. You have one out in the inning. Just pound the strike zone, the bottom of the strike zone. See if Abreu can hit a ground ball somewhere. It's a 4-0 ball game.
Right. And the pitch count, very important. Lauer kicks and offers to Christian Campbell. First pitch curve is low, ball 1. Wilyer Abreu on first. He swiped 4 bags this year, hasn't been caught. Red Sox up 4-0, as Chris said, top of the third. One-0 to Campbell. No, it's a throw to first, and they got him. Wilyer Abreu was late to dive back in as Lauer kicked the leg up before stepping in the direction of first base. Abreu staying on the back. He's not so sure, but now he'll walk off as Alex Cora decides not to challenge.
That was a really nice pickoff. You can see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. actually faked Abreu as well. Caught him leaning towards second base. Guerrero jumped back closer to the bag and put the good tag on Abreu for out number 2 in this inning.
1-0 now to Campbell. Foul tip, 1-1. It's a big boost for Lauer and the Blue Jays, making it 2 out, bases empty instead of 1 out, runner on first. The wind and the 1-1. Fouled back again. Big hacks from a not so big guy in second baseman Christian Campbell. But he hits the ball real hard. It's 1-2.
At least it was a fastball inside.
It's true.
That's what I'm worried about right there. It's a good 4-seamer inside. You can see it ties up Christian Campbell just a little bit, just enough.
1-2. A little bit high. Missed with the slider. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
But you're right. He's not a big guy. He's kind of a string bean. But he can fly.
He doesn't hit like it.
No,
8 doubles, 4 home runs. He hits like he's got big power. 2-2. Swing and a miss. He got it. Inside fastball tied up Campbell. And Eric Lauer faces the minimum in the top of the third. 4-0 Boston, middle of 3. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Feel the excitement of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on SiriusXM FC. Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Rafinha! Saka!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history.
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed strike 3 and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
VSiN, the sports betting network, is back on SiriusXM. Go to channel 158 for informed wagering and fantasy advice from familiar voices like Gil Alexander, Paulie Howard, and Mitch Moss. Plus, SiriusXM mainstays Adam Shine, Rich Gannon, and the guru, John Hansen. We're getting you ready for the upcoming games with a finger on the pulse of the latest news and the moving lines and odds. VSiN, the sports betting network, is now on SiriusXM 158 and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio, Channel 90.
Radio Network.
The third inning is brought to you by the local family-owned Crown Rust Control Centers in Sydney and North Sydney, Nova Scotia. Crown is proud to be Canadian-owned and operated since 1986, so protect your vehicle from rust today at your local Crown Rust Control Center or visit crown.com. Crown, Canada's #1 rust protection. Called first strike on Ernie Clement as Lucas Giolito delivers a fastball in the zone to start the bottom of the third. It's 4-0 for Boston over Toronto. 0-1. Lined out to left field, sinking and down for a base hit. Good swing there from Ernie Clement, who stayed on a slider, breaking away from him for a leadoff single.
And that's a big base hit, too, because now it flips around to the top of the order. Here comes Bo Bichette.
Bo has the only other Blue Jay hit so far today. He singled to start the day of Lucas Giolito when he bounced the ball up the middle. Bichette batting .296 on the season, high 600s OPS. From the stretch, Giolito kicks and deals. Called strike. Still waiting for that first home run of the year, but otherwise, it's been a very nice start for Bo Bichette. 0-1. Swing and a line drive, base hit into left center field. Clement around second. He'll go back to the bag. A rocket off the bat of Bo. And there are runners on first and second with nobody out.
There's a lot of people talking about the lack of power, and I understand that. I totally get that. You expect Bo Bichette, I would imagine, to hit 20 homers in a season. But when he's swinging the bat like that and hitting rockets like that back up the middle, I'm not worried. Eventually, he'll get under one, and he'll hit a home run.
Yeah, I mean, it is hard to say a guy is totally struggling when he's top 5 in the American League in hits and doubles coming into this game. Bichette with 2 more hits now as he has 2 singles today. First and second for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Giolito's pitch. Called strike.
Oh, boy. He wants that one back. 93 right down the middle. Little 4-seam action.
Guerrero never left the box. Brings the bat above his right shoulder, looking at Giolito. 0-1 pitch. Called strike. That one looked outside. It's 0-2.
Yeah, I don't think that's a strike. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is having a quick conversation with Derek Thomas, the home plate umpire. He didn't like that call either.
Vladdy popped out to the second baseman, Christian Campbell, in the first. No outs, first and second for Toronto. And the 0-2 pitch. In the dirt, ball 1.
Little Juan Soto action there from Vladimir Guerrero Jr. A little shuffle.
He'll shuffle, he'll dance in there from time to time. One-two offering. Fouled away to the right.
Good job from Vlad just staying alive. It was a tough fastball off the plate outside, and Vlad just stuck the bat out and fouled it off into the right side of the foul territory.
Another 1-2. Called strike 3. 96 on the outside corner. Doesn't get better than that. 1 out.
That's a strike. Vlad didn't like that call either, but that one was a strike. I think he was just frustrated with the previous strike call. He's walking slowly back to that dugout, but like you said, doesn't get better than that.
Outside corner, bottom part of the zone. 96, the max velocity really for Giolito.
That's where they teach you to throw it.
That is as good as it gets. So 1 out, first and second. Santander to the plate. Giolito's pitch. Hammered foul, 0-1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Timbermart always has someone on deck to help you with any home improvement projects. Before you begin renovating, visit the team at Timbermart. They've got the know-how to make sure you come out swinging on your next project. Timbermart, Canada's building center. Ben Schulman, Chris LaRue on hand, the 0-1. Hit in the air, right field. Medium depth. Abreu backing up, makes the catch. And Clement will remain at second with Bichette staying at first. Now 2 down.
Well, it was a pretty good changeup from Giolito. Santander was right on it, but it kind of faded at the last second, and he hit it off the end of the bat. I thought for a second it might have a chance, but you see the replay, hit off the end of the bat, didn't really go anywhere.
Now the Blue Jays in risk of squandering a pretty big opportunity. Had first and second, nobody out, and the runners have not moved since, despite it being right near the top of the order. Cleanup hitter George Springer up, the pitch. Fouled through the legs of the catcher Narvaez, 0-1. George Springer has 12 RBIs this season, third on the Blue Jays, only trailing Bichette and Guerrero. The 0-1. Fouled it off of his front ankle, walks across the plate, but he appears to be all right, 0-2.
Home plate umpire Derek Thomas giving George Springer just a couple more seconds, asking him if he's okay, just cleaning off that plate. Pretty savvy move from him.
Thomas back behind the catcher Narvaez now, and Springer in the box. Clement on second, Bo on first, 2 outs. The 0-2. Called, strike 3. On the outside corner with the changeup, Giolito freezes Springer, and after the 2 hits to start the inning, no runs. Giolito getting 3 in a row, including a pair of strikeouts to strand a pair of runners. 4-0 Boston. We go to the 4th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Hey, do you ever wonder how life might look if you'd saved a little more? Well, April is Financial Literacy Month, and Planned to AT is here to help. We're a nonprofit helping young people improve their futures through financial wellness education. Our fun, simple workshops help students build healthy money habits and get them ready for the workforce. Text PTAT to 26989 to learn how you and your company can get involved. That's PTAT to 26989.
Baseball is back. It's former General Manager Jim Duquette, and every Sunday on the front office, we have you covered on everything happening across Major League Baseball.
That's right, Duke. It's former Big League GM Jim Bowden. Injuries, extensions, promotions, demotions, and trades. We'll have you covered on all the news.
We'll bring you the front office perspective as the season heats up.
Front office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on SiriusXM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on SiriusXM or streaming anytime on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
The world's most thrilling league is now in the palm of your hand. Hear every English Premier League match all season long on the SiriusXM app. Just search for your favorite team.
The Sportsnet Radio Network.
4-0 Red Sox, top of the 4th in downtown Toronto. Eric Lauer back on the hill for the Blue Jays. Lefty deals to Tristan Casas and hits the zone with a fastball to get ahead 0-1. Welcome to the Timbermart broadcast booth. Austin Mackey, Tom Young, our technical directors. Show Ali, our host and producer. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. 0-1 pitch, cut on and missed. Good curve there. Got Casas to chase low. 0-2. Lauer struck out Casas back in the 2nd inning. Left-handed hitting first baseman just asked for time, adjusting his batting gloves. Brings the bat up high. Here's the 0-2. Called, strike 3. Punched him out on his slider at the knees. 1 down.
Yeah, he went slow curveball and then a little bit quicker slider there. I don't know if it caught the strike zone. Might have been just below, but a good pitch nonetheless. Catching Tristan Casas, just staring at it. A good frame job by Alejandro Kirk back there.
4th strikeout already for Eric Lauer through 2 1/3 innings. Lefty deals to Rafaela. Swing and a miss.
I like that curveball. It's got a lot of downward action on it. Pretty slow, too. 74 miles an hour.
When he was really going with Milwaukee, that big moving, high-spin curveball was something people really gravitated to. 0-1 pitch outside with the curve. 1 ball, 1 strike. .58 pitches so far for the southpaw, who winds and delivers. Swing and a line drive center field. Varsho racing to left center. A little leap to make the catch. 2 outs.
Well, that's exactly what he needed. Two outs on 5 pitches for Eric Lauer. Let's see if he can go a couple more innings in this ball game.
John Schneider today said that they'll get about 90 pitches of length from Eric Lauer. Next pitch he throws will be his 60th. Two outs and the base is empty. 4-0 top of the 4th. The pitch to Carlos Narvaez. Hit foul over the screen into the seats. 0-1. First appearance in the big leagues for Eric Lauer since 2023 with Milwaukee. Lefty's 0-1. Popped up, back of second, racing out into right field. Andres Jimenez makes the catch to end the inning. That's 4 in a row retired by Lauer in back-to-back scoreless innings. We go to the bottom of the fourth. The Red Sox still leading 4-0. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations, where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Barry, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Bet365 must be 19 or older, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has concerns about gambling, visit connectsontario.ca.
Hey, this is Chad Green. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the fourth inning presented by Bet365. At Bet365, you can bet on popular markets like hits, home runs, and total bases. Download the app and find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly, Ontario only. Lucas Giolito deals to Dalton Varsho, who hits it high in the air, deep left field. Back on the warning track, Jarren Duran makes the catch. One pitch, one out to start the bottom of the fourth.
I actually thought that ball had a chance for a second. Jarren Duran kept going and going back to that wall. It was about 5 feet from that wall in left field. Just missed a homer.
Don't see a lot of opposite field home runs from Dalton Varsho, but like you said, got pretty close there. Quick first out, though, for Giolito. 4-0 Boston, bottom of the fourth. Right on right, the pitch to Alejandro Kirk. Called strike. Alejandro Kirk saw this matchup. His eyes might have lit up. In his career, 4 for 12, 3 homers off Giolito. 0-1. Foul tip, 0-2. It's the most home runs he has against any specific pitcher in his big league career. In fact, he's hit 1 or 0 home runs against every pitcher he's faced, except for Lucas Giolito, who he has 3 against. 0-2. Called strike 3. Catches the outside corner with a breaking ball. And there are 2 down.
Well, Kirk didn't like that call, but again, that's about as good as it gets. A changeup that started off the plate and then faded back over and just clipped the black. Such a good pitch.
John Schneider now is going to talk to Derek Thomas. I don't think he's happy with the strike zone. Or perhaps it's something unrelated. And he's talking with Thomas right now before Addison Barger hits. In a sec, we'll look at the out-of-town scoreboard, brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill, 100% Canadian-owned and operated since 1992. Every night, or every Tuesday night, wings are just half price. Visit stlouiswings.com for details. You are welcome. Pitch to Addison Barger. Low ball 1.
Derek Thomas actually threw somebody out. That's why John Schneider came out to talk to him. Obviously didn't throw out John Schneider. He's still standing at the top step.
1-0. Called strike, 1-1. On the out-of-town scoreboard, Yankees and Orioles playing right now, and it's the Orioles leading 5-3, led by a 4-run bottom of the second. 4-0 Boston here in Toronto. 1-1 to Barger is hit in the air, center field, curling back toward left center. Rafaela jogging onto the track, makes the catch and ends the inning. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill. In Toronto, it's 4-0 Red Sox after 4. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
SiriusXM Patriot, Channel 125, marks President Trump's first 100 days of his second term. Hear from lawmakers, journalists, and historians, plus your calls as we reflect back. Go inside the opening chapter of the second term with the exclusive Patriot special from inauguration to now, highlighting the key accomplishments, top priorities, and the bold vision for the road ahead. Trump's first 100 days. All day today on SiriusXM Patriot Channel 125 and on the SiriusXM app.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on SiriusXM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on SiriusXM or streaming anytime on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
Fantasy Sports Radio is helping you win your fantasy leagues right now on Channel 87.
Say goodbye, home run Aaron Judge.
From in-season fantasy baseball management to helping you prepare for your fantasy football drafts, Fantasy Sports Radio is here to help you dominate.
Don't ever take a player that you don't intend to keep all year. Don't do it. It's terrible management.
Fantasy Sports Radio, your home for fantasy sports. Channel 87 and on the SiriusXM app.
You want baseball? The doggy has you covered. Tune in to Mad Dog Unleashed for the best baseball coverage anywhere. Weekdays 3 to 6 Eastern. SiriusXM Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
It's the fifth inning, brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. 4-0 Red Sox over the Blue Jays. Third baseman Ernie Clement playing in as Eric Lauer deals to Jarren Duran. Called strike, 0-1. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Fourth inning for Lauer, the lefty who's getting into the wind. Kicks and offers. Bounced it down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Jarren Duran is 1 for 1 today. Single, stolen base, walk, and a run scored. 1-1. Hit on the ground to first base, backing up Guerrero. It's off the glove, bare hands, throws it over Lauer as it skips back to the plate. Don't think they were going to get Duran anyway. And I believe that'll be an infield hit on a ball hit pretty hard over to first.
Well, Vlad threw that baseball like he normally would to Eric Lauer trying to cover first base. And Eric Lauer actually stuck out his throwing hand, and it looked like he was going to attempt to catch it with his bare hand. Let's just say, good thing he didn't catch it with his bare hand.
It wouldn't have been in time. I don't even think he could have. Maybe he could have, but that was thrown real hard. So runner on first, in the pitch now to Rafael Devers. Line to the left, foul, 0-1. They did rule it a single, by the way, for Duran. Tough play for Guerrero. He had to slide to block it. Now the 0-1. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Jarren Duran's really low over there at first base. A pretty good, healthy lead. Wouldn't be surprised if he tries to take off, although maybe not with Rafael Devers standing in that batter's box.
Step and throw over to first base by Lauer. Duran back in, standing up. Yeah, I wouldn't run Duran right now, at least. Devers, 2 for 2, 2 doubles.
You never know. He's really exciting, and he does whatever he wants to do out there.
I don't think they give him a lot of steal signs. I think he probably just goes himself a lot of the time. Duran taking a sizable lead again. The 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
But I think you're right. He doesn't really look like he wants to take off during this at-bat.
2-1. Devers hits it very high to left field. Racing in and toward the line, George Springer makes the catch just inside fair territory for the out.
It's a big first out, especially with Alex Bregman coming to the plate. This is still a ball game, just 4-0 in the fifth inning. The Blue Jays have to put some zeros up and start putting some balls in the gaps. They'll be all right.
Eric Lauer pitched back-to-back scoreless frames before this fifth. It's 4-0 though for Boston. 1 out, runner on first in the top of the fifth. That brings Alex Bregman to the plate. Second overall pick at LSU in 2015. Lauer throws over to first and back in. Jarren Duran. Bregman in the first year of his 3-year, $120 million deal with the Red Sox. Some deferrals and opt-outs for Bregman after years 1 and 2. Lauer's pitch. Swing and a miss. Bregman deciding to go with that deal that gave the highest average annual value, at least before you factor in deferrals, on a very competitive team in the Red Sox, reportedly turning down longer-term deals from the Tigers and the Houston Astros. Swings at the next pitch, hits it foul, 0-2.
Well, if he continues to play like he's playing, he's going to have a lot of suitors in the offseason for a longer-term deal, probably at the same per-year value, I would imagine.
Oh, 2 pitch. High and outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Pretty cool moment, though, for Bregman, who idolized Dustin Pedroia coming up, called him his favorite player in the offseason, and now the 1-2 hits Bregman on the ankle. Think it got him right in that red shin and foot protection because he didn't react too much, which is the good news for Bregman and the Red Sox. Tough news for the Blue Jays is it's first and second with 1 out.
Yeah, he's actually laughing as he's walking down to first base. Now he's jogging just a little bit. I think it actually got him in the toe. Not a great place to get hit, but doesn't look like he's in any pain over there at first base.
Yeah, it did not hit the protection, but tough guy. Not showing any sort of grimace or visible sign of pain as he gets hit in the foot. Now Bregman on first, Duran on second, Trevor Story's up. 1 out, top of the fifth inning. A look at second from Lauer in the pitch. Called strike. Diamond cross chain hanging out of the jersey for Trevor Story. Right-handed hitter, open stance, pretty thick beard. The 0-1. Curveball hit on the ground to third. Backing up, Clement has it. Long throw over to first, and it's on the money to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. for the out. Duran up to third base, Bregman up to second. Nice play from Clement.
Well, I like that Ernie Clement didn't try to get the runner at second base, Alex Bregman. He wasn't going to get him, just took the sure out. I mean, not really that sure because it was a tough play, fading away from first base. Making a good throw across the diamond for out number 2 in this inning.
So second and third for the Red Sox. 4-0 Boston. 2 outs, top of the fifth. And the pitch to Wilyer Abreu. Fastball at the knees. Strike 1. 2 walks for Wilyer Abreu tonight. Hasn't made it past first base either time. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Eric Lauer now at 76 pitches. There's some movement over there in that Blue Jays bullpen.
Lefty Josh Walker warming up for Toronto. Lauer's 1-1. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Clement called off by Bichette, the shortstop, just on the turf to make the catch and end the inning. Nice recovery for Eric Lauer after first and second, 1 out. He ends up making it a scoreless top of the fifth. 1 hit, no errors, 2 left for Boston. 4-0 Red Sox, middle of the 5th at Rogers Center. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Kentucky Derby is here, and VSiN is covering all the action with a live show Saturday beginning at 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm Mike Somich. Join me and Aaron Halterman for a special live edition of VSiN at the Track. We'll give you the latest news, handicap the race, and give you our best bets, plus interviews with guests like legendary announcer Dave Johnson. Join us live for VSiN at the Track Saturday starting at 4 p.m. Eastern on VSiN. We'll help you make smart bets and enjoy the 151st Run for the Roses on SiriusXM Channel 158 and the SiriusXM app.
The NASCAR Cup Series is on SiriusXM. We're back on the track Sunday,
2:30 p.m. Eastern.
It's the Worth 400 from Texas Motor Speedway on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90, in the car and on the SiriusXM app. For up-to-date betting lines, fantasy plays, and the latest NASCAR news, catch the pre-race show before every Cup Series race. Plus, 2 hours of post-race coverage on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
PGA Championship moments on SiriusXM.
At the 2024 PGA Championship at Valhalla, Xander Schauffele's opening round 62 tied a major championship record, and he never looked back.
Xander Schauffele, the winner of the 106th PGA Championship.
Colin Morikawa and Bryson DeChambeau made furious charges, but Xander secured his first major win 2 months before claiming his second. PGA Championship Week begins May 12th on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
24/7, 365 coverage of all things NASCAR. All things NASCAR happens exclusively on SiriusXM NASCAR Radio Channel 90.
Radio Network.
Blue Jays Baseball is presented by Crown Rust Protection. 4-0 Red Sox, bottom of the 5th. Lucas Giolito to Andres Jimenez. Called strike. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight alongside former Major League pitcher Chris LaRue. I'm Ben Schulman. Blue Jays with 3 hits, all singles, 1 walk off of Giolito. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Got Jimenez out in front on the change. 0-2.
Giolito's looked really, really good today. That last changeup might have been his best changeup of the night, but just 1 walk in the ball game. That's really what I was concerned with coming into this ball game for Giolito.
And 6 strikeouts so far. Righty's 0-2. Make it 7. Foul tip into the glove. He gets Jimenez with a high fastball. 1 out.
It's tough to react to that fastball up when that changeup is so good. And he threw a good one to Jimenez earlier on in that at-bat. Then he throws the 4-seamer up around the hands. Tough to react to that thing.
3 200 strikeout seasons for Lucas Giolito in his career, including 2023. Last season he was active. Pitch to Ernie Clement. Outside and low. Ball 1. Right-handed hitting Ernie Clement with one of the 3 Blue Jay hits. 1-0 pitch. Swing and a miss.
It just looks like a fastball coming out of the hand. That one was 81 miles an hour. If that fastball is 95 or 94 even, that's 13 miles an hour difference in the fastball. It's so much.
Check swing on a 1-1 in the dirt. And no swing on appeal to first base umpire Eric Backus. 2 balls, 1 strike. As Giolito goes to the back of the hill for some rosin, we can go quickly to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out of town scoreboard, where it's still 5-3 Orioles over Yankees. Bottom 6 in Baltimore. The 2-1. Called strike. 2-2. Other AL East matchup as Clement asks for time, frustrated with the last call. Other AL East matchup is Tampa Bay Rays taking on a non-AL East team in the Kansas City Royals. 3-0 for the Royals. And through 7 innings, or 6+ no hits for Tampa Bay. 2-2 pitch. Clement hits it on the ground to third. Picked up by Bregman in the throw on to first in time for the out. Really odd play. Ernie kind of let go of the bat as he made contact, and it flipped away halfway down the third baseline. Clement retired, 2 outs, 4-0 for the Red Sox over the Blue Jays, bottom 5. The pitch to Bo Bichette. Hit foul to the right, 0-1. Bo with 2/3 of the Blue Jays hits today. Singles up the middle in the first and the third inning. The 0-1. High, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The Red Sox actually just moved Christian Campbell closer to second base, closer to behind the pitcher.
He's still maybe 2-3 steps to the right of it. I'm going as close to up the middle as he can if I'm him. 1-1. Popped up. Back to the second baseman, Campbell. Sprinting in from center field. Rafaela makes the play to end the inning. Another 1-2-3 for Giolito, who has retired 9 straight batters. We go to the 6th. Red Sox 4, Blue Jays nothing. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
CGT this Tuesday.
It's going to be a battle.
The top 14 acts put it all on the line.
It's not about being good. It has got to be great.
With $1 million grand prize from Rogers, the stakes have never been higher. The road to the finale won't be easy.
Go big or go home.
Canada's Got Talent, The Eliminations, Tuesday 8/7 Central on City TV, or stream it on City TV Plus.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Springer charges the ball to left field. It's in the seats, and the Blue Jays are on the board.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. Game 2 of the series against the Boston Red Sox. The Blue Jays trailing 4-0 as we go to the 6th inning. Pitching change for Toronto, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Right-hander Chad Green on the hill. He'll face off with the rookie Christian Campbell. Green kicks and offers, and a fastball is hit very high, not very deep right field. Barger sprinting in, slows up, makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out for Green.
Well, I'm sure Chad Green is very excited about that result. I'll take that every time.
Chad Green, a 3 ERA in 13 appearances. That's 4 earned runs across 12 innings. He's struck out 11. He's walked 2. Waiting on Tristan Casas, who steps in with about 10 seconds left on the pitch clock and looks out to Green. Right on left pitch. High, ball 1. This 6th inning brought to you by Desjardins Insurance. Get insurance that's really big on care at Desjardins.com/care today. 1-0. Low, 2 balls, no strikes. Casas had a nice day yesterday. 2 hits, his first multi-hit game since April 4th, 2-0. Slider called low, 3-0. Today, though, it's been tougher. He struck out swinging once and looking once, both against Eric Lauer. .30 pitch. Swing and a miss. He gripped and ripped at that 95-mile-an-hour heater, but missed it. Casas asks for time, adjusts his batting gloves. Tall left-handed hitting first baseman takes a breath and steps back into the box. Tap of the plate, and he looks out to Chad Green, who's set and ready to go. With 1 out, the 3-1. Check swing, high, ball 4. They appeal down to third base. No swing, says Mike Estabrook, so it is a walk for Casas.
It was a pretty good at-bat from Tristan Casas. A tough take there. Good fastball just above that strike zone. Velo's starting to creep up for Chad Green. That one right there was 95 miles an hour. 95.2, actually.
Green looking to bounce back off the walk. One out, and the pitch to Cedon Rafaela. Hit on the ground right at the shortstop, Bichette. Bichette over to second one. Jimenez to first, not in time. Fielder's choice, and if you want to understand the speed of Rafaela, that's a tailor-made double play ball, and he made it not even that close at first.
Yeah, it almost looked like Andres Jimenez didn't even want to throw that baseball because he looked over to first base as he was catching that baseball from Bo Bichette. And he probably thought to himself, why am I throwing this baseball? Cedon Rafaela beat it by about a step and a half over there at first.
On a ball hit so on line to short, Bo Bichette didn't move. He just went down to a knee. 2 outs, Rafaela on first. A threat to steal for sure. And the pitch to Carlos Narvaez. No, it's a step off and throw over. And Rafaela actually took a step the wrong way before diving back in safe. Red Sox center fielder Rafaela stole his 7th bag of the year in the second inning. Green's pitch. And it was a pitch out, throw over to first, and they nearly got him, but a dive back safe by Rafaela.
Cedon Rafaela actually took 2 or 3 hard steps towards second base and stopped. But the Blue Jays pitched out. They actually almost got him at first base trying to get back in.
Obviously, he doesn't know it's a pitch out when he's taking those fake steps, but that's the wrong time to deke a steal. Gave Kirk a chance to get him. 1-0. Dekes a steal again. Another throwback from Kirk, and it's not in time, but that one real close again. Rafaela faked another steal. Kirk took another shot over to first. And he is walking the tightrope a little bit, Rafael.
He took about 5 hard steps that time. Blue Jays thought about taking a look at it. Obviously, they won't, but Rafaela doing a good job sliding to the back of the base.
Two-0 pitch. Swing and a miss. Carlos Narvaez is 0 for 2 today. Lead catcher for Boston with Connor Wong still on the injured list with a broken pinky. 2-1. Rafaela takes off. Pitch is drilled. Deep left field. Springer turns around. That ball is way gone. A 2-run home run for Carlos Narvaez, and the Red Sox extend their lead to 6-0 in the top of the 6th.
Well, Carlos Narvaez just hit his 3rd home run of the season on a fastball right down the middle. It was a really nice swing. Didn't try to do too much. Just got his pitch and absolutely hammered it.
RBIs 7 and 8 for Narvaez. Pitch looked like it was a bit inside, but it was thigh to belt high, and he just torched it out to left. Pitch down to Jarren Duran, hit on the ground at second base, picked up by Jimenez, throw to first to end the inning. 2-run shot makes it 6-0 Boston, middle of the 6th in Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
This is Trey Anastasio from Fish.
Fish is known for legendary live performances.
The thing that I like the most is that everybody says yes to every idea.
And on-stage improvisation.
When I walk on stage, I've trained myself to go completely blank.
Dive into their weird and wonderful world with exclusive commentary and shows hosted by band members.
There's a lot more preparation than might be seen, but there's also a lot more abandoned than might be believed.
Fish Radio, Channel 29, and at home with the SiriusXM app.
Wake up! Wake up, everybody!
This is Steve Phillips from the leadoff spot on MLB Network Radio. Join me and former Major League Baseball players Eduardo Perez and Xavier Scruggs as we react to all the latest news and scores across baseball and have plenty of fun along the way.
Steve, you were so right about that.
I don't know if anybody else thinks we're funny, but I think we're funny.
Why are you putting us or we into this?
The leadoff spot, weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
Blue Jays fans, your manager, John Schneider, joins MLB Network Radio every other Wednesday at 11 a.m. Eastern.
Our bats have been really kind of the way we envisioned them. Jimenez has kind of picked up where he left off in spring, as has Bo Bichette, Alejandro Kirk, and George Springer is making progress and kind of quieting some people down on the outside with the start he got off to.
Managers at the mic on MLB Network Radio, SiriusXM 89, and the SiriusXM app. In season or out of season, the number one place for college sports is SiriusXM College Sports Radio, Channel 84.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Home half of the sixth inning, Red Sox 6, Blue Jays 0. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. It's Vladimir Guerrero Jr. leading off today, or in this inning, I should say, against Lucas Giolito. Sixth inning of work for the righty, his pitch. Called a ball. Looked like it got the zone on the inner half, but it's 1-0. We were told, by the way, that the Blue Jays staff member ejected for arguing balls and strikes was hitting coach David Popkins a couple innings ago. 1-0. Hit on the ground to third. Picked up chest high by Bregman, who shuffles and throws to first for the out.
Nice play by Alex Bregman. A little short hop over there. That play was harder than it looked. It made a nice throw across the diamond for out number 1.
With Bregman's throw to first, let's go over to the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. A little bit of playoff hockey going on right now. With the Capitals up 3-1 in the series over the Canadiens. They're leading 3-0 right near the end of the second period. Pitch to Anthony Santander. Low ball 1. Washington got the opening goal of that game from Alex Ovechkin. Jacob Chikrin and Tom Wilson scoring 2. 1-0 pitch. Called strike 1-1.
Your Leafs play tomorrow, correct?
Yes. 7 o'clock. One. Santander hits it well out to center field. Rafaela running it down, makes a two-handed catch in front of the track left center. 2 outs. Other hockey score on the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. It's 3-1 for Florida in the series over Tampa Bay. And in Game 5, it's 3-2 for Florida over Tampa Bay. Alexander Barkov scored early in the second period to give the Panthers the advantage. They're looking to last 33 more minutes and take the series. First pitch to George Springer, former Hartford Whaler fan. I guess still a current one. The team just doesn't exist anymore. It's 0-1. 6-0 Red Sox. 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And the 0-1. Called strike.
So it is possible to be a fan of a team that doesn't exist?
I think a lot of Montreal Expos fans would say that right now.
Former Montreal Expos fans?
No, I'm current fans.
All right.
0-2 pitch. High, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two outs and the base is empty. Last Blue Jays base runner came with nobody out in the third. In the bottom of the 6th, Giolito's 1-2. Down and away, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Jimmy Garcia's getting loose in that bullpen out there in left field. I guess this is turning into a true bullpen day.
And a lot of the high leverage guys haven't gone all that often for the Blue Jays recently. 2-2. Poked away foul over the screen back behind home plate.
I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Hoffman throws in this ball game too, just to get some work in.
The Blue Jays have lost 8 of 9, so it's not like setup and save opportunities have been plentiful. Even the one win in that stretch, they were trailing until the 9th. 2-2. Down and away, ball 3.
There are some guys that closers, high leverage guys that haven't thrown for a few days that say, I'll just throw a bullpen, that'll be enough for me. But most guys like to get in a ball game.
Giolito winds and delivers. And the 3-2 is up and in, ball 4. George Springer with his second walk today keeps the inning going. First Blue Jays base runner since the 3rd.
It's a good AB from George Springer. Tough take on a fastball up around the hands. Almost clipped that strike zone, but he's at first base with a 2-out walk.
Carlos Narvaez is going to go out and just talk to his starter, Lucas Giolito. There's a little bit of movement going on in the Red Sox bullpen. Liam Hendricks is not throwing, really just kind of stretching out right now, working with some weighted balls. But no one up for Boston because Lucas Giolito has been really good today, and he's only on 78 pitches. 6-0 Red Sox, 2 outs, bottom of the 6th inning. Dalton Varsho to hit, 2 outs and Springer on first. The pitch is hit foul, 0-1. Second game of the season for Varsho, who hit .214 last year, 700 OPS, had over 20 doubles, 7 triples, and 18 home runs. The 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2.
That's what that changeup does. He absolutely blew him away with 93 there. When you have that good changeup in the back of your mind, it's really tough to catch up to that 4-seamer at the top of the strike zone.
The 2-strike offering. Hit high, deep right field. Abreu at the track. It's gone. Two-run homer for Dalton Varsho. Welcome back to 2025. Varsho with a blast. It's 6-2.
Well, he got blown away by that fastball at the top of the strike zone, and it almost looked like he was sitting change up there. Lucas Giolito gave it to him, and he just hooked it for his first home run of the season and just his second ball game.
While the Blue Jays are by no means asking him to save the offense, he can provide a little more power than they've had already this season. You can see it there with the home run. Now the pitch to Alejandro Kirk in the dirt, ball 1. Fitting for Varsho, who hit some huge homers in the spring to come up with a home run as his first hit of the 2025 season. The 1-0. Swing and a deep drive, left field. Duran slowing up near the wall, and the Blue Jays have gone back-to-back. Kirk homers off Giolito for the 4th time in his career. And it's 6-3 as the Blue Jays have gotten themselves back in it.
And I was going to say, when you mentioned that has to be coincidence. But now, there has to be something to it. 424-foot bomb. 106 miles an hour off the bat. What a swing from Alejandro Kirk.
His second shot of the year.
On Bubble Arm night.
That's true. It is his night. Making a splash not just with the framing, but with a big swing as well. And this inning has come out of nowhere. Pitch to Addison Barger. Low ball 1. It was 2 outs, no one on, but the Blue Jays still getting shut out in the bottom of the 6th. Before walk, homer. 1-0 pitch. Barger takes it outside, 2-0.
And how about Alejandro Kirk hitting that changeup and knowing it was out of here? Took about 4 or 5 slow steps towards first base. That's got to be a good feeling for him.
Energy back in the building, the 2-0. Swing and a miss. 2-0 change, Chris's favorite pitch.
I like a 2-0 change right down the middle. That one was below the strike zone. Probably not where you want it.
Now the 2-1. Fastball misses low. 3 balls, 1 strike. Well, now there is action in the Boston bullpen. Lucas Giolito trying to get through 6 innings. A wind in the 3-1. Called strike on the outside corner, full count.
He has so much confidence in that changeup. Threw it 2-0 And then he threw it 3-1. That last 3-1 pitch was a perfect pitch on the outside corner.
Lefty Justin Wilson loosening up. Giolito could be near the end of his rope. With 2 outs, is 3-2. Hit foul off to the left. Line into the second deck by Barger, and he stays alive.
And again, you could see Addison Barger change up in the back of his mind, was behind on that fastball right down the middle. What a swing from Alejandro Kirk.
6-3 game, bottom 6. Another 3-2. Chop to first base, charging in. Casas has it on the high hop and goes to the bag to end the inning. The Blue Jays on the board with back-to-back home runs. 3 runs on 2 hits. It was Varsho and Kirk leaving the yard together to make it 6-3 for Boston as we go to the 7th. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Find your location at timbermart.ca.
If you're looking for a fun day, did you know the day before Monday? Junior J Sunday. You can paint your face, come and meet Ace and run base to base. On Junior J Sunday. So many things to do. You can bring your crew and even mom and dad too. Junior J Sunday.
Lights up, let's go to Junior J Sundays. It's family fun throughout the ballpark with games and activities that your squad will never forget.
Feeling the song, grab your dad or mom, visit BlueJays.com. Junior J Sunday.
Gary, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
Timber Mart is Canada's building center. A solid neighbor to call upon when you've got a job to do. Your dependable home improvement store that offers the added value of Air Miles reward miles with every purchase of $15 or more. For our participating location, visit timbermart.ca.
But you got no confidence like me.
Hi, this is Will Wagner, and you're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Work too hard, can you pay me?
6-3 ball game as the Blue Jays go back-to-back in the bottom of the 6th inning to make it a game once again. And as we go to the 7th, it's a pitching change for Toronto. John Schneider brings Jimmy Garcia out of his bullpen. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Alongside Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Jimmy Garcia making his 13th appearance of the year. He's allowed 0 earned runs so far. Faces the heart of this Boston order, starting with the number 2 hitter, DH Rafael Devers. Garcia's pitch. Fastball for a strike. Devers stepped out as that pitch came in, 0-1.
I'm sure Jimmy Garcia will take that free strike.
A 1. This is high and outside at 97. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How about Jimmy Garcia's season so far? 12 innings, 6 hits, no earned runs. That's so impressive. And he's always coming in high leverage.
He is. Even now, Blue Jays are down, but he's facing the toughest guys in the Red Sox order. 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. Garcia returning to the Blue Jays after being so effective with Toronto last year, but really struggling in his half season, partially due to injury with Seattle. 2-1. Hit on the ground is shortstop. Backing up, it's backhanded by Bo Bichette, who sets and throws on to first overhand. 1 out. This 7th inning brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. 6-3 for Boston. Alex Bregman, a big part of that. He hits here with 1 out and the base is empty.
And this is a big shutdown inning. This might not be high leverage, but it's a very important inning in this ball game.
Garcia rocks and offers. Bregman pops it up. Shortstop Bichette going back onto the left center field turf, waves his arms in the air, angles to the left to make the catch. 2 outs. Big matchup. How about you get him on one pitch? Send Bregman packing. Former teammates in Garcia and Bregman, given the half season Jimmy spent with the Houston Astros. So 2 down, bases empty, top of the 7th, still 6-3 Boston. And Trevor Story is up to the plate. Infield shifts to the pull side for the right-handed hitter. Ernie Clement hugging the line. The pitch. Called strike.
And if Jimmy can get out of here with less than 10 pitches, do you throw him out there for a second inning?
Could be a wait and see with what happens on offense.
Right.
But it's possible. Red Sox do have action in their bullpen. Garrett Whitlock is getting loose. A 1. Swing and a miss. 98. Lower half of the zone. 0-2.
There's just so much life to that fastball. It's almost like it hits another gear when it gets to the dirt. It's 98, but I'm sure it feels harder than that. Has to.
The 2 strikes. George Springer shifting a little in left, moving more toward left center. Although now he's talking to Varsho and moving back. 0-2 pitch. Bounced it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. To get Garcia new baseball, quick look at the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Yankees have inched closer to the Orioles. It's now a 5-4 game because guess who? Aaron Judge with an RBI single. 6-3 Red Sox. 2 outs, bases empty, top of the 7th. And Garcia's 1-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Story chases the breaking ball outside. A 1-2-3 inning for Jimmy Garcia. All of our out-of-town scores brought to you by St. Louis Bar and Grill in town at the 7th inning stretch. It's 6-3 for Boston over Toronto. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch 3-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
Of all the things that Timber Mart can lend a hand to build, community ranks among the most important. And with the Timber Mart Local Leaders Initiative, we strive to recognize those dedicated to making their hometowns a better place to live, work, and play. From now to June 25th, you can vote to select our grand prize winner. They'll receive a $10,000 grant to support their outstanding initiative as Timber Mart's Local Leader of the Year. To vote, visit local-leaders.com. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Guess who just bundled their home and auto with Desjardins Insurance?
Well, look at you, all grown up and saving money.
Yes, I am.
Mom told you to do it, didn't she?
Yes, she did.
Get insurance that's really big on care. Switch and you could save up to 35% on home insurance when you bundle home and auto. Desjardins Insurance. Here for your home, auto, life, and business needs. Certain conditions apply.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
The 0-2 pitch. Fastball, strike 3 looking.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Boston 6, Toronto 3 as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning at Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays with 3 runs in the 6th, trying to carry that momentum into the 7th. They'll do it against a new pitcher. It's the right-hander Garrett Whitlock as the first arm out of the bullpen for Alex Cora and the Boston Red Sox. Righty Whitlock taking on Andres Jimenez to start his day. The pitch. Hit high in the air, down the left field line, fading into the seats foul, 0-1.
And Whitlock's been very good for the Red Sox this season. 1-0, the 1.72 ERA, 10 ball games, 15 2/3 innings pitched, 19 strikeouts.
Back as a full-time reliever after a couple of years in the rotation. 0-1 pitch is hit foul, almost exact same spot down the left field line, out of play, 0-2. This pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Jimenez 0 for 2 today, a pair of strikeouts. Whitlock's 0-2. Looped down the left field line. Long run Bregman into foul territory, and it drops in just beside him to give Andres Jimenez an extra life.
Well, Alex Bregman was playing almost in the hole on the left side of that infield, so he had to run a long way. And then you have that short wall over there in foul territory. That's a scary situation if you're the Red Sox. You don't want him tumbling into the bleachers.
Bregman walks back into position. Garrett Whitlock comes set. Third base side of the rubber. He kicks and offers. This one looped out to left center. Could be trouble. Duran charging in, makes the catch. And there's one out.
Duran was playing way in, so I feel like on a normal day that might have dropped, but Duran was in, so it was an easy catch for him.
A nice start for Garrett Whitlock. Sinker first righty. Sinker slider, changeup, and sweeper for Whitlock, who pitched only 4 times in 2024. All 4 were starts. First pitch to Ernie Clement, inside, ball 1. Whitlock, a great reliever for the Red Sox when he debuted in 2021. Then they tried to get him in the rotation a few times, but he kept getting hurt. 1-0 pitch is swatted to left center field, down for a base hit. Ernie Clement around first. He'll stop there as Rafaela options it back in quickly. It's a second hit today for Ernie.
And we talked about Rafaela in center field quite a bit, but he does a great job cutting off that baseball in the gap in left center, keeping Ernie Clement to first base. That's a big run standing at first base, so to keep him from getting to second base is big.
6-3, the Red Sox leading the Blue Jays. Boston was up 6-0 before the 3-run bottom of the 6th. Pichette at the plate. Clement on first. The pitch outside, ball 1. Bo's 2 for 3, 2 singles up the middle and a fly out to center. The 1-0. Big swing and a miss. Trying to unload on that changeup, but he was a little out in front. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Thought for a second that Jimmy Garcia might come out for a second inning, but it looks like Brendan Little is warming up in that Blue Jays bullpen in left field.
The 1-1. Called strike, 1-2.
Bo didn't like that call, but that was very in the strike zone. Caught a lot of the plate.
Was a backup sweeper, but it ended up the upper and inner part of the zone. Now the 1-2. Poked away, foul. Bichette reached down and away, a little bit off the plate even, to make contact with that pitch and stay alive for another one.
That's a tough changeup, especially when a guy's throwing mid to upper 90s, 84 miles an hour with that changeup.
One-two again. Outside, 2-2. Twice Whitlock has dealt with significant elbow injuries. Torn UCL last year, had Tommy John also as a Yankees minor leaguer in the late 2010s. 2-2. Swing and a fly ball, right center. Rafaela covering some ground over into the gap, makes the catch in front of the warning track. There are 2 outs. Blue Jays still trailing 6-3 at Rogers Center. Looking to at least chip away into that deficit a bit in this 7th inning. Runner on first, 2 outs. And Vladimir Guerrero Jr. stands in. He's 0 for 3 today. Whitlock's pitch. High, ball 1. Pop fly, strikeout looking, ground out for Guerrero in his 3 trips to the plate. 1-0. Swing and a liner smashed through the left side of the infield, a base hit. Ernie Clement up to second. Guerrero stops at first with his first hit today.
And he hit that ball 119 miles an hour. Absolutely ripped that thing through the hole on the left side. You can see him clapping his hands, telling the dugout, let's go. Just a little hanging changeup from Whitlock. He was all over it.
prompts Andrew Bailey to go out to the mound, the pitching coach for the Red Sox. So we'll quickly take a look at the Bet365 standings. Download the Bet365 app for today's baseball odds. Find out why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 19 plus, play responsibly. Ontario only. Yankees lead the division 18-12. Red Sox game and a half back in second at 17-14. The Rays are 14-15. The Blue Jays 13-16. And the Orioles 11-18. All 5 of those teams in action today. You have 2 inter-AL East matchups with Blue Jays and Red Sox here in Toronto and the Yankees and Orioles in Baltimore. Rays are taking on the Royals in Tampa Bay. Blue Jays down 6-3. They've lost 8 of 9. But they have the tying run at the plate. Bottom of the 7th. 2 on, 2 out. Here's Anthony Santander. Whitlock's pitch. Up and in, ball 1. Santander 0 for 3. Strikeout, fly out, and line out to center field. The 1-0. Outside, 2 balls, no strikes.
And don't get too big here. You still have to wait for your pitch. If that ball's not middle, don't swing at it. It's a big pitch in this ball game here.
Righty Whitlock set. Springs the glove up to his cheek. A look at second, the 2-0. Swing and a deep drive. Right field. Way back. It's gone. We are tied at 6 in Toronto. The Blue Jays have come all the way back from down 6-0. And Anthony Santander blasts them right back into the game. His 4th home run of the season, by far his biggest of his Blue Jays career. And he lost his helmet along the way, but he picks up the jacket from his buddy Andres Jimenez in now a 6-6 game.
And he got his pitch. It was a hanging changeup from Whitlock, and he didn't miss it. That's what good hitters do. They get their mistake, and they don't miss it.
First pitch to George Springer. Swing and a miss. Strike 1.
He hit that ball, and he fist pumped immediately. He was still in the batter's box, and he fist pumped. That tells you how meaningful that home run is for him.
0-1. Springer swings and misses. 0-2.
What a ball game.
Blue Jays were down 6-0 at the end of the top of the 6th.
And how did they get back in this ball game, Ben?
They hit some home runs, Chris. Turns out they matter. 0-2. Bounced. 1 ball, 2 strikes. They did not steal bunts and sack fly to win 6 runs today.
Sometimes that matters.
It does matter. But so do home runs.
Not in this ball game, though.
6-6 game. 2 outs, bases empty, bottom 7, the 1-2. Outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. For the Blue Jays, it's their most runs scored since April 15th versus Atlanta, the day that they got to Spencer Schwellenbach. 2-2. Springer fouls it back.
Jose Barrios came leaping out of the dugout when Anthony Santander hit that home run.
It's a huge blast for Santander. The only one that compares, probably the homer he hit off Schwellenbach, the 3-run shot he hit in that 5-run inning in that Blue Jays win. 2-2. Springer pops it up foul, right side, fading into the seats out of play. Still 2-2.
It almost took Dalton Varsho coming up and hitting that home run to get kind of the monkey off the back, and now it feels like everybody's a little bit more comfortable. I could be wrong. I could be...
3 home runs in 2 innings. 6 runs for Toronto. 2-2. Springer hits it in the air, center field. This one deep, but I don't think it has the legs to get out. It's caught in front of the track by Cedon Rafaela to end the inning. The Blue Jays scored 3 runs on 3 hits. Anthony Santander ties it with a 3-run shot, and it's 6-6 as we go to the 8th inning. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Feel the excitement of the UEFA Champions League knockout stage on SiriusXM FC. Europe's best clubs.
What a start for Inter! And Barca are level! Brilliant Arsenal goal!
The world's brightest stars.
Rafinha! Saka!
All chasing club soccer's ultimate prize.
A new page in their glorious history!
The Champions League knockout stage, where legends are made. On SiriusXM FC, channel 157 in the car, and the SiriusXM app.
Every night after the final out, the Round Trip Roundup brings you the scores, highlights, and analysis from every game across Major League Baseball, all in less than 30 minutes.
Swung on and missed strike three and a no-hitter.
It's the perfect way to get caught up on all the night's biggest home runs and best performances.
And a high drive, deep right center.
It's the Round Trip Roundup on MLB Network Radio every night on SiriusXM Channel 89 and every morning on the SiriusXM app.
VSiN, the sports betting network, is back on SiriusXM. Go to channel 158 for informed wagering and fantasy advice from familiar voices like Gil Alexander, Paulie Howard, and Mitch Moss. Plus, SiriusXM mainstays Adam Shine, Rich Gannon, and the guru, John Hansen. We're getting you ready for the upcoming games with a finger on the pulse of the latest news and the moving lines and odds. VSiN, the sports betting network, is now on SiriusXM 158 and on the SiriusXM app.
After the game, join us on MLB Network Radio. We're talking baseball with you all season long on SiriusXM Channel 89 and the SiriusXM app.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Anthony Santander with a game-tying 3-run blast in the 7th. And as we go to the 8th in Toronto, it's a 6-6 game. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. New pitcher for the Blue Jays, lefty Brendan Little deals to Wilyer Abreu, swing and a miss. Strike one. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Little's 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Solid start to the year for the Southpaw. 3 ERA for Little in 12 innings. The 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Nice curveball right there. You can tell Wilyer Abreu was trying to change this ball game with 1 swing.
Rare hitless day so far for Abreu, but he's 0 for 1. He has 2 walks. 1-2 pitch, a check swing. No appeal down to third base. Pitch was in the dirt. It's ball 2, and it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2-2. Hit on the ground up the middle, a base hit into center field, and there is the hit today for Wilyer Abreu.
Yeah, it's a pretty good swing. A hanging breaking ball right down the middle, but Wilyer Abreu didn't try to do too much, just hitting that thing, staying through it right back up the middle for a big leadoff hit for the Red Sox.
Boston with 2 runs in the first today, 2 in the second, and 2 in the 6th. Long ball has played a factor again. They've left the yard twice, but the Blue Jays have homered 3 times in this 6-6 game. Christian Campbell is up. No outs, runner on first, the pitch. Campbell takes inside, ball 1. Looks like the Blue Jays are worried about a bunt attempt here from the speedy Campbell. Ernie Clement was playing maybe even or a step behind the bag. Now he's backed up a little, and Vlad is backed up to cover first. 1-0 pitch, called a strike, 1-1.
Another good frame job from Alejandro Kirk. A questionable strike call right there. Might have clipped the corner, but Kirk was able to frame that thing, bring it back a few inches.
Alejandro Kirk bobble arm day. 1-1. Broken bat, grounder to third. Clement has it, throws to second one. Over to first, and it sails away, but hits the fence of the first base dugout. Throw to first to apply a tag just in case. Campbell never made a turn towards second, though, so he's safe. No error on Jimenez. You can't assume a double play, so it'll be a fielder's choice.
Well, Vlad was having a conversation with Eric Brackus, telling him that he thought Christian Campbell might have taken a quick left turn towards second base. We're getting a replay right now. I don't know.
We couldn't really see. He was out of shot in the replay. Maybe he did, maybe he didn't. Goes a 5-4 put out.
They might take a look at this.
Yeah.
Maybe at second base. Maybe that's what they might take a look at.
I'd have to look at the slide again. I didn't see anything that looked sinister over there, and I wonder if John Schneider's even asking if he can review that. He's talking with Brian O'Nora, the crew chief. So again, it was runner on first, a ground ball to Ernie Clement. He threw over to Jimenez at second for 1 out. That's clear. Then the throw over to first sailed away. Kirk was backing it up, so he scooped it up near that first base dugout. And Kirk and Guerrero seemed to think that there was a chance Campbell made a move towards second. If you make even one small step to second, you have to get back to first before being tagged. And it looks like whatever the discussion entailed between John Schneider and the umpires, there's not going to be a review.
Yeah, well, I thought maybe they were going to take a look at the slide at second base, and then they brought in Eric Brackus, the first base umpire, and then I knew right away that they were talking about whether Christian Campbell might have made a quick move towards second base or not.
I got to look at the slide, by the way. It didn't look like anything crazy.
You never know.
Pinch hitter for Boston, Romy Gonzalez up, and he cuts and misses. Strike 1. Gonzalez, one of the utility options when a left-handed pitcher is in. He takes over for Tristan Casas. Casas ends his day 0 for 2 with a walk, and Gonzalez likely to slot in at first when the Red Sox get on defense. 0-1. Downstairs, 1 ball, 1 strike. Did get a look at Campbell running through the bag, too. I didn't think there was a clear step towards second base. 1-1. Gonzalez hits it foul, 1-2.
Christian Campbell does have 2 stolen bases this season. I would imagine he's not going to go here in this situation, but you never know.
He does represent the go-ahead run, top of the 8th. 6-6 game, 1 out. Campbell on first with a 1-2 count. Pitch to Gonzalez. Swing and a miss. He got him. Chased the curveball down and away. That pitch looked like a ball out of the hand, but enough movement and deception for Little to get Gonzalez 2 down.
It almost looked like he was just protecting with that good from that good fastball that Brendan Little has. And I mean, yeah, you're right. That fastball, that curveball was a ball out of the hand. You shouldn't be swinging at that, but a big out for Brendan Little.
2 down, still a runner on first. The pitch to Cedon Rafaela. Swing and a miss. Rafaela already chasing a pitch there, and now with the important run on first, you really want to stay out of the zone against a guy like him. He swings more than anyone in the American League at 61% of pitches he sees. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Just below the zone with the curve, 0-2.
His curveball is really good tonight. But like you said, in this situation here, don't throw anything in the strike zone. Alejandro Kirk's job back there is to be a wall and block this ball.
0-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. Curveball at the back foot. Back-to-back strikeouts for Little. And we go to the bottom of the 8th with the Red Sox and Blue Jays knotted up at 6. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays Baseball. Brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ Home Hardware and Building Center locations, where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
Barry, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
CGT this Tuesday.
It's going to be a battle.
The top 14 acts put it all on the line.
It's not about being good. It has got to be great.
With $1 million grand prize from Rogers, the stakes have never been higher. The road to the finale won't be easy.
Go big or go home.
Canada's Got Talent, The Eliminations, Tuesday 8/7 Central on City TV, or stream it on City TV Plus.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
A game-tying blast from Bo Bichette
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Bottom of the 8th inning. Welcome to the Timber Mart broadcast booth at Rogers Center. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Blue Jays and Red Sox tied at 6. New first baseman for Boston is Romy Gonzalez. Same pitcher, Garrett Whitlock, the right-hander, deals to Dalton Varsho. First pitch outside, ball 1. Second inning of work for Whitlock, who gave up the 3 hits, including the 3-run homer to Santander in the 7th. That tied this game. 1-0. Big swing and a miss by Varsho, 1-1.
That fastball was middle. Varsho put a good swing on it, but just got underneath it a little bit.
Varsho started the offensive day really for the Blue Jays. His 2-run homer in the 6th, 1-1. Big swing and a miss again, 1-2.
2 pretty good swings on those fastballs, those 4-seam fastballs.
He's not getting cheated.
Doesn't want free baseball?
No. he wants a W. 1-2. Fouled right back. 96 up and in, and Varsho sent it straight back into the netting.
Garrett Whitlock is coming right at Dalton Varsho, not messing around. 3 straight fastballs in the zone.
Whitlock has length, but he entered this inning with 24 pitches already today. Now on 28. Righty kicks and offers. Low. Good take by Varsho, who bent the knee down with that breaking ball. Rather a changeup. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2. Lined up the middle and down in center field for a base hit. Second hit of the night for Dalton Varsho. The Blue Jays have the go-ahead run on first.
That was a really good job. That fastball was in on the hands of Dalton Varsho, but he just muscled that thing out to center field. A couple hits for him tonight. And he did have 10 stolen bases last year, so you have to keep an eye on him if you're the Red Sox.
Was only caught 2 times last year. 2 years ago, he had 16 stolen bases for the Blue Jays. The pitch to Alejandro Kirk is lined center field right at Rafaela. Took a couple steps to his right to make the play. Varsho back into first. Rafaela tried to throw him out, getting back to the bag. That wasn't very close.
That might have been Alejandro Kirk's best swing of the season. He squared that ball up, hit a rocket out to center field. Unfortunately, he didn't quite get underneath it enough.
Now, he might say, hey, Chris, I hit a 420-foot homer the last time I batted in this ball game. But it was a great swing. 1 out, the pitch to Addison Barger. Called strike 0-1. Blue Jays have the closer getting loose. Jeff Hoffman is throwing in left field in this 6-6 game. 1 out, bottom 8, the pitch. Barger takes it low. 1-1. How tough is it for a pitcher? Garrett Whitlock just gave up a 3-run lead. Now he's being asked to come back out here and try and keep it tied.
Well, you just have to have a short memory. You got to forget about that, and you have to keep your team in it.
1-1. Bounce to second base. Charging Campbell. Backhanded flip to second for 1. That's the only out they'll get. Fielder's choice. Barger safe at first.
And Garrett Whitlock's really doing a good job. He's made a bunch of good pitches in this inning so far. Obviously, he gave up those 3 runs last time. Here comes Miles Straw to pinch run for Addison Barger.
Get a little more speed on the base paths with the fact that that runner on first is the go-ahead run. Straw could also slot in 1-for-1 defensively for Barger. First move off the bench for the Blue Jays today. Wouldn't be shocked to see Straw take off either.
Well, I'm sure the Red Sox are going to do everything they can to keep him at first base.
Pitch to Andres Jimenez. Fouled right back into the screen. 0-1.
Garrett Whitlock's job is just vary the holds, vary the looks, throw over once, keep that guy at first.
0-1 pitch. High and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Doesn't really look like Miles Straw wants to take off here.
Which surprises me a little. It's a risk for sure, but you can get the go-ahead run into scoring position. 2 outs, the 1-1. Straw takes off on the pitch, and it's hit on the ground to first. Backhanded there by Romy Gonzalez, who gets to the bag and ends the inning. No runs on a hit for the Blue Jays. 1 left. We go to the 9th, and this game is tied at 6. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Alert the press!
We are the press. Page 6 Radio, a brand new show, is on SiriusXM.
I'm Danny Murphy.
I'm Evan Reel. And I'm Ian Moore, editor at Page 6, the New York Post's iconic celebrity news column.
We're your backstage pass to the hottest pop culture and entertainment stories you won't find anywhere else.
We're breaking stories before you've even had your first mimosa.
It's iconic, legendary, everything. Page 6 Radio, weekdays at 8 a.m. East, only on SiriusXM Stars, Channel 109, and on the SiriusXM app.
Baseball is back. It's former general manager Jim Duquette, and every Sunday on the front office, we have you covered on everything happening across Major League Baseball.
That's right, Duke. It's former big league GM Jim Bowden. Injuries, extensions, promotions, demotions, and trades. We'll have you covered on all the news.
We'll bring you the front office perspective as the season heats up.
Front office with Jim Duquette and Jim Bowden, Sundays at 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network Radio, Channel 89, and on the SiriusXM app.
From dramatic walk-offs.
This ball is crushed into the trees. Grand slam.
To jaw-dropping web gems.
A diving catch over the shoulder by Johnson.
College softball and baseball are heating up, and you can catch the action on SiriusXM. Hear live play-by-play from the nation's top conferences and powerhouse programs all season long. Stay connected to the action on SiriusXM or streaming anytime on the SiriusXM app. For a complete schedule of games, go to SiriusXM.com/sports.
And it's gone!
Jays fans, this is John Schneider, and you're listening to Blue Jays Baseball on SiriusXM.
There's the exclamation point for all assembled here at Rogers Center.
Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center. Top of the 9th inning, 6-6 game between the Blue Jays and the Red Sox. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. Pitching change for the Blue Jays brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. In a tie game, closer Jeff Hoffman takes over, facing 9-1-2 in the Red Sox order, starting with the catcher, Carlos Narvaez. 12 outings this year for the right-hander Hoffman, a 1.35 ERA in over 13 innings pitched. He kicks and deals. Swinging a sharp grounder to second base, vacuumed up Jimenez. Takes his time on the throw to first, 1 out.
The thing that jumps off the page when you look at Jeff Hoffman's stats, he has 19 strikeouts in 13 1/3 innings. That tells you just how good that stuff is.
19 strikeouts to 1 walk, and it was an intentional walk. So really, he's punched out 19 and walked none. 2 fastballs, splitter, slider for the right-hander. Brought over in free agency from Philly. His pitch to Jarren Duran, fouled right back, 0-1. One out, top of the 9th. 6-6 ball game. The Blue Jays trailed 6-0 going into the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 home runs helped them climb out of that hole. The 0-1. Foul tip, 0-2. Duran asks for time. Left-handed hitter adjusts his batting gloves. He's now pulling his elbow protector a little bit higher up his arm. Plants his white Nike cleats back into the batter's box and looks out to the right-hander, Jeff Hoffman. Hoffman's 2-strike pitch. Outside, 1-2.
That split finger kind of at the middle of the strike zone, but it still had a lot of horizontal movement on it.
Hoffman kicks and delivers and misses down and in that time. Went off speed twice in a row, pair of splitters. Missed both times. It's 2-2.
That second one was a lot better. You could tell he was telling himself, get on top of this pitch, and he did that, but Jarren Duran didn't offer at it.
2-2. Swing and a fly ball left center. Dalton Varsho racing toward the gap, makes the catch, and there are 2 down.
Never a doubt, right? With that guy roaming center field, he can track down anything.
Had a long way to go, but the good news for Varsho, too, is now he's playing with Miles Straw in left field and George Springer in right field. About the best, if not the best, outfield defensive alignment that the Blue Jays can make. Straw came in as a pinch runner for Addison Barger in the 8th, so he goes out to the left, and George Springer moves back to his familiar right. 2 outs, 6-6 game, top of the 9th. The pitch to Rafael Devers is a fastball that misses outside, ball 1. 2 doubles in the first 2 innings for Devers. He has flied out and grounded out since. 1-0. Big swing and a miss by the slugging left-handed hitter. He was out in front of that splitter, 1-1.
Yeah, he was sitting dead red. He's actually nodding his head right now, telling Jeff Hoffman that was a good pitch.
Hoffman kicks and delivers, and Devers hits it back foul. It'll go just to our left. I think one booth left of the Red Sox radio booth, but Devers almost gave team broadcasters a souvenir. It's 1-2. Two outs, base is empty. 6-6 game, top of the 9th. Hoffman's pitch. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Aroldis Chapman is warming up for the Red Sox in their bullpen out in right field.
Two. Just inside, ball 3. Could have gone either way. Might have clipped a little of the zone. He did miss his spot, and it made it look awkward for Kirk.
I think that was just one of those pitches that just didn't look good. But it was a strike. It was kind of a hanging breaking ball. Might have clipped the inside part.
Now the 3-2. Swing and a miss. He got him. A 1-2-3, top of the 9th for Jeff Hoffman, and the Blue Jays look to walk it off when we return. 6-6 game, bottom of the 9th next. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Gary, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Fastball hit to center field. Varsho with a dive, and he makes the catch.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you. The Blue Jays and Red Sox tied at 6 as we head to the bottom of the 9th inning at the Rogers Center. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk tonight. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker have the post-game show. Blair is down at the Rogers Center. He will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can text the guys as well, 590-590, name and location. That's the People's Text line. It is always open. Blue Jays Baseball, as always, is brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Blue Jays and Red Sox tied at 6. Bottom 9 at the Dome. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue.
Thank you very much, Joe. This copyrighted broadcast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership or the Sportsnet Radio Network. Bottom of the ninth inning, 6-6 game, and it's a pitching change for the Red Sox. They bring in their left-handed flame-throwing closer, the veteran Aroldis Chapman is in the game.
37 years young, and he's still getting it done. 16 strikeouts in his 10 1/3 innings this season. 2-1 with a 1.74 ERA, 4 saves.
You think Father Time gets everyone? Chapman is averaging 101 on his sinker this year. Again, like you said, 37. His pitch to Ernie Clement. Swing and a high drive. Center field. Rafaela back at the warning track. Makes the catch. And there's one out.
Oh, boy, that was really close out there in center field. Maybe 5 or 10 feet from that wall. Ernie Clement having a chuckle as he slowly runs by Aroldis Chapman. What a swing from him. That would have been a nice ending to this ball game.
Would have been shockingly quick, to be honest, against a guy like Chapman. First pitch nearly left the yard. Now Chapman just trying to settle in. He's got one out. Top of the order up. It's Bo Bichette. The pitch. Inside, ball 1. Pitching change brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Lefties 1-0. Fouled back. 1 ball, 1 strike.
98 miles an hour just tied up Bo Bichette.
That was the sinker, too, so it's that hard, and it's got some arm side run. .6'4", 235-pound Cuban left-hander set. Here's 1-1. Swing and a fly ball right field. Abreu shuffling back 10 feet in front of the track, makes the catch. 2 outs. And even the windup intimidating for Chapman, who almost curls up in a ball above his back left leg before unraveling and exploding to the plate.
He's 235 pounds, and I'm pretty sure that most of that is muscle.
Yeah.
He is a jacked dude out there.
339 saves in the career of Chapman, most of them with the Reds and Yankees. 2 outs, 6-6 game. He pitches to Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Called strike, 100 on the inside edge on a sinker with some big movement. 0-1.
That's unhittable. Vlad didn't like that call. Still shaking his head as he gets back in that box, but it's a strike right at the top of the strike zone.
Chapman's 0-1. Swing and a miss. Just when you gear up for the 100, he drops something soft on you. That time a splitter at 91. 0-2. Four-seamer and sinker are the main pitches for Chapman, but he will throw the slider and splitter every once in a while. 2 outs, bases empty. Tie game, bottom of the ninth. Chapman's 0-2. Fouled right back. 102 on the inside edge, and Guerrero got to it to spoil it.
He was sitting dead red there. It almost looked like he was guessing heater. I'm pretty sure that's the only way you get to that pitch. 102 on the black on the inside part. If you're not looking for that pitch, then good luck.
Chapman set again. 0-2. High and sailed to the backstop. 102 from Chapman on the four-seamer, but nowhere close.
Like you said, 37 years old, still throwing 102 miles an hour.
It's really unbelievable.
Yeah.
Won the closer job in spring training this season. Now is 1-2. Poked away, foul to the right. They will close other guys from time to time. Chapman could go if there's a lot of lefties in the 8th inning, or Alex Cora not opposed to using him against the top of the order in the 8th inning if they need to. But he is back in a closing role for the most part again. Lefty twists and deals. And it's fouled off again. Heck of a battle here by Vlad. That was the splitter that time that he just got a piece of.
That might have been the mistake that he was waiting for. That was a split finger right down the middle. I know it's easier said than done when you have 102 in the back of your mind telling him to hit a split finger, but that was the mistake.
Another 1-2. Swing and a miss, strike three. 101 gets him. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Chapman. Free baseball at Rogers Center. We go to the 10th. 6-6. Blue Jays and Red Sox. We'll have an automatic runner when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Barry, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Swing and a miss, strike three. He punched out the side with his 9th K of the day.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Ali with you. The Blue Jays and Red Sox tied at 6 as we head to the top of the 10th. Extras in Toronto. Quick check of the St. Louis Bar and Grill out-of-town scoreboard. Stanley Cup playoff action. The Washington Capitals officially moving on to the second round with a 4-1 win over Chris Leroux's Montreal Canadiens. They eliminate the Habs in 5 games. Meanwhile, the Panthers are up 4-3 on the Bolts down in Tampa. The third period just underway on Sportsnet 360. If Florida wins, they will also move on to the second round. Blue Jays baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. The Jays and Red Sox tied at 6, top 10. Automatic runner time at the Dome. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris Leroux.
Thank you, show. Automatic runner Rafael Devers. 6-6 game, and the first pitch to Alex Bregman. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Still Jeff Hoffman on the hill for the Blue Jays. Hoffman had the first of 2 really strong 2-inning appearances on the road at Fenway Park against the Red Sox a couple weeks ago. 0-1, swing and a miss again. 0-2.
He'll be facing Alex Bregman, Trevor Story, and Willie Abreu. No easy task.
No one up in the Blue Jay bullpen either. Righty's 0-2. Low with the split finger. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Solo shot for Alex Bregman in the first. Strikeout in the second. Hit by pitch in the 5th. Pop out in the 7th. The 1-2. High, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That's a good take from Alex Bregman. A little bit jumpy. Wanted to swing at that pitch, but was able to hold back. Good fastball just above the strike zone.
Really hard to get Bregman to chase. Hoffman's 2-2. Up and in, ball 3.
I actually don't mind that pitch. I know that it came in up around the letters, almost hit him, but that's a very effective pitch, setting up something right now.
3-2. Fouled off. I think they wanted to go down and away with the slider, but that one spun out of the hand, was on the inside edge when it was fouled away by Bregman. Another 3-2 from Hoffman. Swing and a miss. He got him. Top of the strike zone slider. Got a wave and a miss from Bregman. There's 1 out.
Wasn't a great pitch. It was a little backup slider, but as we've seen so often, it's so hard to hit those good backup sliders because you're expecting it to break more than it does, and it kind of ties you up, and it tied up Bregman right there for a big strikeout in this inning.
I know, talking to Houston Astros radio analyst Steve Sparks in Houston, who pitched in the big leagues, he was saying if I could throw a backup slider to the top of the zone every time, I would. No one would ever swing at it, and if they did, they'd probably miss it. One out, the pitch to Trevor Story. High, ball one. It's another high slider. Maybe he is trying to work that pitch in, Jeff Hoffman.
The backup slider? Yeah. You mean the hanging, spinning slider over the middle?
Hanger. Runner on second, one out. 6-6 game, top of the 10th. Pitch to Story. Called strike.
Another hanging, spinning slider.
This might get bad in a second, but for now it's working.
Yeah.
.21 pitches so far for Hoffman. His 1-1. Fouled back. It's 1-2.
And Jeff Hoffman is going for the strikeout here. He doesn't want Trevor Story putting that bat on the baseball, so I'm assuming that it'll either be below the strike zone or a fastball up above that strike zone.
Story struggles with the fastball, around a 500 on-base plus slugging against heaters this year. 1-2. Swing and a ground ball left side of the infield, picked up by the third baseman Clement. Looks back, Devers throws to first, and there are two down.
I'm not sure that's where he wanted that pitch, but I'm sure Jeff Hoffman will take the result. It was just a slider kind of over the middle of the plate. Luckily, Trevor Story was out in front of it. Hit a little cue shot to third base.
He's probably gotten away with 4 or 5 sliders that didn't exactly end up where he wanted them. But you got to be good to be lucky and lucky to be good. Jeff Hoffman figured it out, 2 down, and now his pitch to Wilyer Abreu. Fouled off 0-1.
You know what helps?
What?
Throwing 98 miles an hour.
It does.
I'm sure Aroldis Chapman throws a lot of hanging sliders that are missed as well.
Yeah. 98 would be a tough day for Aroldis Chapman. Doesn't look like Chapman's coming back out in the 10th, by the way. Action in the Red Sox pen. 2 outs. Devers on second still. 0-1. Abreu takes outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 6-6 game. If you're just joining us, I think I can speak for you, Chris. I don't think either of us thought we'd be here right now. It was 6-0 for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. 1-1 pitch. Called strike, 1-2.
I definitely thought I'd be in traffic right now on the QEW somewhere.
Much nicer result for you, though. At Rogers Center, crowd getting loud. 2 outs, runner on second, 6-6 in extra innings. Hoffman's 1-2. Swing and a miss. Big flex from Jeff Hoffman. 2 shutout innings, and the Blue Jays have a chance to win it in the bottom of the 10th. 6-6 game. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. running on second when we come back. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center. Streaming at sportsnet.ca and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Gary, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong bird food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
At Crown Rust Control, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
Bichette powers the ball to left field. Going back, Peralta. It's out of here.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Blue Jays Baseball. Show Adley with you at Baseball Control. The Jays and Sox tied at 6 as we head to the bottom of the 10th inning at the Rogers Center. Extras continuing in Toronto. Don't forget, we do have Jays Talk as always. Jeff Blair and Kevin Barker have the postgame show. Blair's down at the Rogers Center. He will throw out the numbers for you to call after the final out. You can text them as well, 590-590, name and location. The People's Text line always open. Blue Jays Baseball brought to you by Crown Rust Protection. This game is tied at 6, bottom 10. Here's Ben Schulman and Chris LaRue at the Rogers Center.
Thank you, Joe. It's crunch time for the Blue Jays. Bottom of the 10th inning, 6-6 game. New pitcher for Boston, brought to you by Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer for the Toronto Blue Jays, locally owned, genuinely Canadian. Right-hander Justin Slayton enters the ballgame. The Blue Jays have the winning run on second base, represented by Vladimir Guerrero Jr., and Anthony Santander will lead off the inning. Mound visit before the inning gets underway. Carlos Narvaez went out to talk to Slayton. Right-hander Slayton usually fills in as the closer when Chapman is used in other spots. In 10 innings, he's got a 3.60 ERA this year and 3 saves. Righty Slayton works from the first base side of the rubber. He kicks and offers. Santander fouls it off, 0-1.
Good fastball, 98 miles an hour. Justin Slayton does have a good arm. Mid to high 90s with that fastball.
Averages 97 on the four-seamer. Main secondary is a cutter. Throws a curve and sweeper, too. A look at second, the 0-1. High and outside.
I would imagine that the Red Sox and Slayton are going to be careful with Santander. I don't think they'll be that upset if he ends up at first base somehow.
Thought they might intentionally walk him, given he hit the 3-run home run today. 1-1. Swing and a line drive. Center field hit right at Rafaela, who makes the catch. Guerrero goes back to second, now tagging. Throw into third. Hits Vladdy on the way, and he's safe at third base. Just like Guerrero planned it off the back when the catch was made. Doubled back to second to make sure he could run to third. And hey, it's going to be a close play. Not if it hits Vladdy on the back. Rafaela made a good throw, maybe a little too true. And Guerrero's safe at third.
Well, I think the only person in the building that thought Vlad would go on that good line drive was Vladimir Guerrero Jr. Nobody expected him to go back to second base, tag up, and try to take third base, but he's safe in there.
Red Sox looked at it, but Vladdy did not make any clear motion intentionally get in front of the ball. Just got him in the rear end and bounced away. Winning run on third. Infield in. The pitch to George Springer. Inside, ball 1.
And I'd imagine they'd be careful with George Springer as well, and especially now that they're behind in the count 1-0.
Outfield has moved in significantly as well. A deep fly ball wins it. 1-0. High, 2 balls, no strikes.
You do have the lefty on deck, so I'd imagine you don't want to just put on George Springer to first base here.
2-0. Called strike. Fastball at the knees. Fans didn't like it. Looked like it got the zone. It's 2-0. Guerrero on third. He's the winning run. 1 out, bottom of the 10th. The 2-1 pitch. Inside, ball 3. 98 from Slayton, but just a little bit too far in.
And they're going to walk George Springer here, down 3-1 in this count.
You probably don't want to mess around too much. Give Springer a chance to hit a game-winning fly ball or ground ball.
I was about to say I'd bet my life savings that he's not getting anything in the strike zone.
Yeah. So why even bother? Yeah. You might throw a wild pitch and lose the game.
I think that's probably what the Red Sox are worried about. You pitch around a guy.
They're going to walk Varsho, too.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we've seen this before. Just you set up a forced play at every bag. It's not a bad play.
And you bring up someone to the plate who could hit to a double play in Alejandro Kirk. Kirk has had a nice day. 1 for 4 with a solo home run. He lined out to center last time. He can win it right now. 26,500 onto their feet at Rogers Center. Justin Slayton cupping his ear because he can't hear the signs. Bases loaded, 1 out, bottom of the 10th, 6-6 game. The pitch to Kirk. Inside, ball 1. And we've mentioned this a lot.
We've been through this before. I like the fact that you're setting up a force play at every base, but that makes the pitcher have to throw something in the strike zone.
Slayton's 1-0. Fouled back. Kirk was ready to fire the hands off on that elevated heater, hit it into the netting behind home plate. The 1-1. Inside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
And now if you're Justin Slayton, you're thinking, I have to throw a strike here. I can't fall behind 3-1 with the winning run at third base.
Bases loaded, 1 out. Slayton's 2-1. Swing and a deep drive. Left field. Down for a hit. The Blue Jays win. Alejandro Kirk is your hero as Toronto comes back from down 6-0 to win it 7-6 in extra innings.
And what did I tell you? With the bases loaded and 1 out, the winning run at third base, you fall behind 2-1. You have to throw a strike. Justin Slate throws a 4-seam fastball right down the middle. And Alejandro Kirk on bobble arm night hammers that pitch to win the ballgame.
An improbable win from the Blue Jays, who look down and out in the late stages. They win it 7-6 in 10 innings. We're going to take a quick step aside. When we come back, we'll wrap this one up and get you over to a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. Don't go anywhere. You're listening to Blue Jays Baseball, brought to you by your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center, streaming on the Sportsnet app and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Every Friday home game is a City Connect Friday. On Friday, May 2nd, the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a City Connect Crisp basketball replica jersey. City Connect Fridays, night mode, lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Timber Mart, locally owned, proudly Canadian. Your home team advantage with the right materials and the right price. Project know-how that's brought together a wealth of plans and solid advice. Trust your team at your locally owned Timber Mart. Timber Mart always has plans to help you with your plans. Your home, your cottage, your garage, whatever needs your attention first, check the most visited spot on our website for ready-to-order plans to get the job done with Canada's Building Center. Visit timbermart.ca.
Every Friday home game is a City Connect Friday. On Friday, May 2nd, the first 15,000 fans at the ballpark will receive a City Connect Crisp basketball replica jersey. City Connect Fridays, night mode, lights up, let's go. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
This is Toronto Blue Jays baseball.
They got him. A strike him out, throw him out, double play.
On Sportsnet 590 The Fan and the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Welcome back to Rogers Center in downtown Toronto. I'm Ben Schulman alongside Chris LaRue. The Blue Jays victorious today over the Red Sox to even up the series. Let's take a look back at it before we get you over to Blue Jays Talk. Chris, it was Lucas Giolito against a bullpen day for the Blue Jays. Pitching for Toronto started off bumpy. 2 runs in the first, 2 runs allowed in the second. But credit to Eric Lauer. After giving up those 2 in the second, he pitched well from there. 3 scoreless innings in a row to make it 2 runs in 4 innings total.
Yeah, Yariel Rodriguez was a bit bumpy today. We saw some good velocity on the fastball, but he really has to harness that and command the fastball better to have success in the big leagues. But you're right. Eric Lauer pitched great. After giving up those 2 runs, he really settled down. 3 clean innings, and that set the stage for everybody else, really. Jimmy Garcia, Brendan Little, and how about Jeff Hoffman? That was one of the best outings I've seen him pitch this season, and that's saying something.
Jeff Hoffman, we'll talk about his role in a second, because first the Blue Jays were trailing 6-0 at one point after a 2-run shot by Carlos Narvaez in the top of the 6th. Looked like this one was over, especially the way the Blue Jays had been hitting recently. But no, the Toronto Blue Jays come up with back-to-back home runs in the 6th. Dalton Varsho with his first hit of the year, it left the yard. And then Alejandro Kirk went back-to-back with Varsho to make it 6-3. 7th inning, the Blue Jays get a pair of singles, and with 2 outs, a monster hit, Chris, from Anthony Santander, his biggest hit yet as a Blue Jay.
Well, I said this during the broadcast. It was almost like that home run off the bat of Dalton Varsho kind of got the monkey off the bat of the Blue Jays offense. It seemed like they were swinging the bat better after that. Obviously, they hit 2 more home runs, Alejandro Kirk and Anthony Santander, but it seemed like they were just relaxed up there. Like the pressure was off of them, and they were really putting good swings on the baseball. From the 5th inning on, I loved what I saw from the offense.
3-run shot by Santander's 4th of the year made it 6-6. Blue Jays didn't score in the bottom of the 9th in a tie game, so we went to extra innings. Jeff Hoffman pitched a scoreless 9th, came out for the 10th, and held Rafael Devers, the automatic runner, at second base. Didn't even advance the 90 feet to third as Hoffman threw 2 scoreless innings and struck out 3. That set up the Blue Jays with a chance to walk it off. All they had to do was score the automatic runner in the bottom of the 10th. Vlad Guerrero Jr., unconventional tag on a line out to center field from Santander. If you're in the car when you pull over, pull that one up on Twitter. That's an interesting watch. Vladdy gets to third after the line out of Santander. Back-to-back intentional walks to load the bases. The Red Sox handpick Alejandro Kirk to come up to the plate, and he delivers today's play of the game. Bases loaded, 1 out. Slayton's 2-1. Swing and a deep drive. Left field. Down for a hit. The Blue Jays win. Alejandro Kirk is your hero as Toronto comes back from down 6-0 to win it 7-6 in extra innings.
Well, Alejandro Kirk swung the bat really, really well tonight. He hit that home run, of course, and I mentioned this. He had a line out to center field. I thought that was his best swing of the season. Really squared it up. But, I mean, you get a 2-1 count, and you get your pitch, and you drill it like he did to win the ball game. What a swing, what a performance on his night. It was his bobblehead night, and he looked as good as he did. What a game from him.
Home run and then the walk-off hit for Kirk, and the Blue Jays win it 7-6 in 10 innings. 6 runs for the Red Sox, 7 hits, no errors, 6 left. 7 runs for the Blue Jays, 10 hits, 1 error, 8 left. Jeff Hoffman with the win. He's 3-0. Justin Slayton with the loss is 0-1. A 2-hour, 56-minute affair in front of 26,500 in Toronto. And with the Blue Jays win, they're 14-16. The Red Sox are 17-15. About an hour and a half ago, everything felt lost. Now the Blue Jays have a chance to win the series. Coming up tomorrow at 7:07 Eastern, it's Jose Barrios against Tanner Houck in Game 3. Hope you can join us then, and appreciate you tuning in tonight. From Tom Young and Austin Mackey, our technical directors, Show Ali, our host and producer, my partner Chris LaRue, I'm Ben Schulman. Have a great rest of your evening, and stick around. Get your calls, get your texts in. For the first time in at least a couple days, it's a winning edition of Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Parker. It starts right now.
You know where to begin. This is like 2 completely separate games. I mean, I texted you in the first inning, as I've done for the past 2 weeks, and said it's over. And I think most people would probably be on board with me. 6-0 after 6 innings. But then all of a sudden, Kevin, back-to-back home runs by the Blue Jays. Dalton Varsho gets a home run, damage, a 3-run home run, and then the Jays win it in extra innings. The numbers to call, as always, 416-870-0590, star 590, 1-888-666-0590, 590 is the text line. The Jays finished the first month of the season, 2 games under 500 at 14-16. I'm okay with that. I know you're looking at me like I got 9 heads. I'm okay with that. 14-16, given where the AL East is, I'm fine. I want to know about the callers. I want to know about the texters. Do you feel, or I should say, how do you feel after this first month? 14-16 capped off with a really nice home win over the Boston Red Sox. Lots to get to. Kevin, I just want to start with that last inning because Chris LaRue said something interesting. I mean, I get why Alex Cora would intentionally walk George Springer with that count. Yeah. I kind of get why he'd intentionally walk Dalton Varsho. I know what he's thinking of, but Chris LaRue made an interesting point. When you load the bases in extra innings, yeah, and you've got the infield, you're basically forcing your pitcher. I mean, for it to work, he's got to throw a strike. He's got to throw a strike, get the ball in play. That's what you're playing for. So put me in the mind of Alejandro Kirk in that situation. Is it just simply I'm looking for a pitch I can drive, or that's it? It's as simple as that.
Yeah, I think so. Right. I think he's gaining some momentum after his last at bat. You know, where he took the changeup and hit it to the moon. Like that's what you're supposed to do with a bad pitch at that velocity and the location that it was at. When you get a little momentum, right, you get yourself in a hitter's count. Didn't look to me like he was cheating to get to the fastball. Like normally, you know, it looked to me like he was opening up a little too quick, right, trying to get the barrel in the zone a little too quick, right? It just looked to me like he was a half a second later, which let the ball travel a little bit, which allowed him just to see it a tick longer. and allowed him to force it in the zone, right? Just trying to get in the middle of the zone, whether it's middle down, whether it's middle, whether it's middle up. That cutter was 2-1, middle up, and you're just trying to meet it out front. You meet it out front, it gives you a better chance to get it in the air, and that's exactly what happened. So, yeah, I mean, it was a really good at-bat for a guy who, had his struggles trying to figure out basically who he's been offensively the last couple of years. And it's good to see him hit mistakes. That was a mistake. That's a mistake. A big leaguer that plays every day should be hitting very hard and have some production out of it. So tip your hat to him. He got himself in a good hitter's count. It was his day. I mean, they were talking about it on telecast, right? You have your bobblehead day. It's a good time for you to get a couple big hits. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, it certainly didn't start out that way. It was an awfully sloppy first inning from Yariel Rodriguez. A balk was called. I will be interested in hearing what happened there. I mean, Alejandro Kirk clearly walked out, basically walked over the plate. I guess he was trying to call timeout. I don't know what it is. But, boy, he and Yariel Rodriguez had just a brutal first inning.
Yeah.
But, the Jays won 7-6. It was a rare time. They hit homers and they had stuff. They really did have stuff go their way. We've got to give a shout out as well to Jeff Hoffman, Kevin. I know whenever we watch Jeff Hoffman pitch when we're watching on TV together, you always say to me, "That's how it's supposed to look." And freezing Rafael Devers at second base in the 10th inning. We're talking about Bregman, Story, and Abreu. Those are two guys who have been really good hitters this year. And Trevor Story, he's hitting .271. He's got 5 bombs. He's probably not the Trevor Story we've seen in recent years.
Yeah.
But, man, oh, man, that is 2 innings from Jeff Hoffman. And it speaks to how elite this bullpen is. Like, if you score runs, you should be able to win games late with this team if you score runs.
Yeah, I mean, other than Chad Green, right, when he walks Casas, Casas, if you make a decent pitch, you don't have to make a great pitch or get himself out. I mean, that's sort of a no-no. And then the 2-1 fastball, that's a good pitcher's pitch. That's better hitting, but I think it's more about the walk that he gave up before the homer. Little's been great, right? Did we expect him having the swing and miss that he's had the swing and miss on with the knuckle curve? That's a weapon. Righties have a tough time picking it up. He's almost effectively wild. It's just like, what's my game plan? How do I look? Where do I look? What pitch do I look for? He's got a little deception when the ball's coming out of the glove. It looks to me like the short arms a little bit. They're having a tough time picking it up. Jimmy Garcia, he just gets the ball, he goes out, he dominates. What can you say about that guy? And you mentioned Hoffman. It's the fastball location for me. I know, a lot of it gets the slider is getting run because of what Bryce Harper's been saying about that pitch and the split finger. But for me, it's about the fastball command. If he needs to throw it up and have it be a tough take, he'll throw it up. If he needs to throw it away to a righty or a lefty, he'll do that. If he needs to attack in, his fastball is very tough takes. And when they're very tough takes because of the velocity, now he can get away with throwing a Bregman slider elevated because of that reason. So, yeah, the bullpen's exactly the way they wanted to draw it up. Just get him the lead a bunch of times. And again, look, you saw Tony Taters turning 99 around and hitting that thing to center when Vladdy, went all airborne at third base. That's a good sign too,
yeah.
Right? He hit a mistake with the changeup. He hit that exactly where he was supposed to go. And then he took 99 that was up and away, which all year we've not seen him even close to that.
No.
And all of a sudden,
slow starter, man.
That timing. Maybe
what did I tell you?
To that. Yeah, there's something to that, right, guys? Guy with big swing, a little out and around, takes a little bit of time, a few at bats to get all that in line. So hopefully this is a stepping stone. Is maybe the season started today.
There is. Look, I'm not a big believer in saying that, but in this case, you know what? In this case, it kind of feels like it. There was something different about this win tonight than we've seen.
Well, they started 12-8. They'd lost 8 of the 9.
Right.
They got whipped yesterday.
And
they were getting whipped.
And we talked about
6-0.
Yeah, and there was not much going on. Literally was not much.
No,
not much going on. Lucas Giolito, I wanted to ask you about that. What did you see in the 6th inning? He gets 2 outs, walks George Springer, then Varsho homers, and then Alejandro Kirk homers.
Yeah,
were you a little surprised? Were you a little surprised Alex Cora let him go an extra inning?
Not really. I mean,
Okay.
I think he looked to me like he wasn't laboring through any times he was pitching. He just made bad pitches with the changeup. I mean, actually, the changeup that he threw to Dalton was not a bad pitch. It was more of, I think, just a little bit up. If it's down, he probably gets the result he wants. I like Dalton's two-strike approach. He's got 3 swings. He's going to use that fluidity with that lower half 3 times. Like, I love that. He don't need a two-strike approach. You don't need that stride separating, trying to put balls in play, trying to beat the guy to the spot, do damage. You get a pitch that's a little up. You can out and around that thing. You get it in the air, create a little backspin because he is trying to chop wood with it. So, yeah, I mean, for the 6th inning, for me, it was just location, right? You can't throw changeups down the middle, to dudes with a little slower bats. Kirky, again, give him credit. When he got a good pitch in a count that he's supposed to be looking for a good pitch, he put his A swing on it and great things happen. So, yeah, I mean, it's just one of those things where I'm sure if they had it back, they might pitch sequence a little different. They might throw some different pitches and different counts to different kinds of hitters. But, again, tip your hat to the Jays. Like they took advantage of some bad pitches.
What went through your mind when you saw Vladdy take off?
I think that's exactly what you have to do when you're not scoring runs. You're trying to gain momentum. He's their best player. If anybody can do it, it's him. Like, yep. I think that's sort of, for me anyway, if not now, when. Like, again, like it's just, the gloves need to come off now. Like, take some chances. Hopefully, you start seeing some better competitive at-bats. You start seeing the balls in the air hit a little bit harder, going places that they should go. Jeff, I've been telling you this for a week now. They can slug. It's about what they've been swinging at, man. If they get better pitches and hunt the middle of the plate, they'll start slugging more. If they don't, they'll look like a college team. And I just think, the last couple of days, maybe we're starting to see that a little bit. Hopefully, from the 6th inning on, we'll continue to see this. And maybe Tony Taters is starting to get his mojo back. He gets it back, everything else will fall in place. Because it does look like Bo and Vladdy just seems like they want to go to the plate. And that always ain't the case. And when you got them 2 dudes can't wait to go and to hit, then everybody else is like, man, look at our best 2 players trying to do that. Now we want to go up and do it.
Tim in Scarborough, you're on Blue Jays Talk.
First of all, Jeff, I was listening to you this afternoon. You had a feeling in your bones, and it came true. That was amazing.
Yeah, don't count on that happening a great deal. But
no,
I
know.
appreciate the compliment.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask Kevin. So I listen to the show a lot, and sometimes you're on with Caleb Joseph, and you guys see the same things in hitting. I'm just curious, do any of the Jays coaches, do you talk to them at all about that?
That's a good call, and thanks for giving Jeff a compliment because it doesn't happen often. Look, I think a lot of this is, you got to remember, too, early in the season, they understand what the guys around them are not doing well. You start pressing a little bit more. You start gripping the bat a little tighter. You start swinging from places that you normally don't swing from instead of just trying to be as short and quick as you possibly can to the ball and getting a decent pitch to hit. And I think, for me anyway, that's probably the biggest thing that they need to make that adjustment with. But, let's be honest, Jeff, the last year and some change, offensively, they haven't been a good team. Whether it's talent or not, just hasn't been showing up. And to the caller's point, I think that is sort of why everybody is going, the big 3 get hot. Everybody else, hopefully is just going up and being themselves. And like John said, it could be 9 against 1 and not 1 or 2 against 1, which will be hard for them to win baseball games. So, again, hitting is a lot of confidence. It's about 90% of that. If you believe you can hit, a lot of the times you'll go up and be productive. If you don't believe, like Jimenez right now, for me, looks lost. Looks like he don't believe, and that's sort of, sometimes you get in those ruts and you got to try and get yourself out of it. So hopefully the main guys are having better at-bats. Getting Kirky hot for, say, a week at a time would be a huge boost for the bottom of that order. Hopefully it's taking place. Hopefully we're seeing it right in front of our eyes.
7-6, the Blue Jays walked off the Boston Red Sox tonight at the Rogers Center. They get a chance to win the series tomorrow with Jose Barrios on the mound and Tanner Houck on the mound for the Boston Red Sox. It'll be a 7:07 first pitch right here on Sportsnet 590 The Fan and Sportsnet. 416-870-0590, 888-666-0590, star 590, 590 is the text line. If you have got some thoughts on the first month of the season, Aaron from Whitby via the text line calls it a refreshing win right when we needed it. With the Jays being only 2 games back of 500, I'm okay where we are at the end of the first month of ball. Wow. There you go. Angus from London. See, Kevin, no need to panic. Tony Taters and Kirky must have been listening to B&B earlier today. I mean, they do listen to it in the clubhouse, but I don't.
Quite a bit. Yeah, look here. Before you keep going, the record when they started 12-8. Did you think that maybe they could go, win 16, 17, 18 games? I did. I think that's the point.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but I stick with my original. I stick with my original approach. 14-16. I'm okay with that.
Okay, let's see how the offense looks 3 or 4 days in a row.
Yeah, obviously 17-13 or whatever would be better. I mean, obviously it would be better, but I'm okay with the first month. And I'm okay with the first month because to me I seeing this type of a game reinforces, and we need. To see this reinforced every now and then. It reinforced the fact that these guys have not forgotten how to hit. Now, I know they hadn't forgotten how to hit, but it's nice every now and then to see evidence of it, especially with this fan base. Because, this fan base right now, they're quick to turn on this team. They really
it's an ugly watch sometimes. Let's be honest.
So I think it's important. You got the Red Sox and you got a nice crowd on a midweek, and, your big off-season signing cranks one. And, Dalton Varsho in his second game back hits one. So, yeah, it looked in the final 3 innings of this game the way this team is supposed to look. And that, I think, is something to hang your hat on. I think they
need to get better at hitting fastballs. They do that. They can string together 4 or 5 games offensively looking like they've been there and done it before. They do that. Then you cook them with gravy. You can gain some momentum, get your mojo back, and show up and start thumping the way you can thump. We've talked about this. The American League East ain't what it used to be. The American League as a whole ain't what it used to be. It'd be a real good time for some dudes in that lineup to be a little bit more competitive, starting to get better pitches to hit and doing some things because of what your pen looks like. I mean, you got to think the big 3 in the rotation is going to keep you in it, keep you around. The bullpen, at least the back end, is borderline elite on occasion. You think if you can string together some hits and learn how to hit a heater consistently, now you got a chance. So hopefully they do that. I don't want to get too excited about tonight, but boy, it was a lot of fun seeing Tony Taters take 99 and flip that thing as hard as he could to center. That's nice.
416-870-0590, 888-666-0590, star 590, 590 via the text line. Give us a call if you're stuck in traffic, you're on your way home from the game. 7-6, the Blue Jays have walked off the Boston Red Sox. Probably the best night of baseball in Toronto so far this season. Probably the best night of baseball in Toronto so far this season. We'll take a break, come back, and look around the American League East, the out-of-town scoreboard, the Yankees and Orioles. They cleared the dugouts tonight. There you go. Yes, American League East. American League East heating up a little bit. We'll take a break and be back with more Blue Jays talk on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
Knock all your summer projects out of the park with Home Hardware, the official home improvement retailer of the Toronto Blue Jays and your DIY partner in making your dream home a reality. From gardens to garages, back decks to front doors, refreshes and renos, we're here to help you cover all your bases and make every summer project a home run. Visit any of our 1,000+ home hardware and building center locations where we're proud to be locally owned and genuinely Canadian.
At Crown Rust Control Center, protection runs deep because every Crown Rust Control Center is owned by a local family who cares beyond business. Your Crown Rust Control Center is 100% committed to their product, to you, to their community, which is your community. Protecting you and what matters to you is equally important as protecting your vehicle. Did you know spring's the best time of year to protect your vehicle from rust? For a special spring offer, find your local family-owned Crown Rust Control Center at crown.com.
Barry, do you ever wonder why we fly north every year?
Obviously, it's because of Armstrong Bird Food.
I thought it was because of the weather or migration or something.
Oh, Steve, you need to spread those wings and open your eyes, partner. Truth is, it's the seeds, the nuts, the berries, the good stuff. Armstrong's got it all.
So all this time, you've been chasing snacks?
Bingo! You think I'd flap these wings thousands of miles for anything else?
Armstrong, Canada's premier bird food. The reason birds fly north. Find Armstrong at Canadian Tire, Home Hardware, and other fine retailers. Or learn more at armstrongbirdfood.com.
Buck Martinez here to tell you about the huge Double XL free topping pizza from Pizza Pizza, just $19.99. That's a whopping 18-inch three-topping thing of beauty for only $19.99. So hurry into Pizza Pizza today and bring a big appetite for a hot and fresh Double XL pizza. I'm loving this big voice. I may just call the game this way.
Order pizzapizza.ca.
The Stanley Cup playoffs are here, and they're only on Sportsnet and Sportsnet Plus.
The stage is set.
Round 1, new rivalries emerge.
Not going to take long to heat up here.
And old ones intensify.
You got to love playoff hockey, don't you?
16 teams, one champion. Will this be the year Stanley comes back to Canada?
Strap yourselves in for the best ride in sports. You can feel the intensity.
Watch every game only on Sportsnet.
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Here for the Cup.
Drywall, an essential part of many, many projects. It's important to get it right and start with quality materials. Essentials you'll always find competitively priced at Timber Mart, like CGC, a recognized giant in the drywall industry for over 100 years and leading Canadian manufacturer of gypsum drywall. Well established and reputable, building pros and contractors know CGC, and you get exactly what the best builders trust. That's as sexy as drywall gets. Timber Mart, Canada's building center.
Hey, this is Dalton Varsho. You're listening to Toronto Blue Jays baseball on the Sportsnet Radio Network.
The Red Sox, it's always good. Always good to walk off the Red Sox. There is it's good for the soul, I think, to walk off the Red Sox.
Feels good, huh?
Yeah, it does. 416-870-05. Well done. That's always nice to see. It was kind of weak. Heston Kjerstad slid into second base, and he got tangled up with Pablo Reyes. And, it was really, as the soccer people would say, there were a lot of handbags, a lot of guys running out and kind of, anyhow.
Soccer people know, yes.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's true. But anyhow, the dugout's cleared. It didn't matter. The Orioles went on to beat the Red Sox 5-4. Kansas City beat Tampa Bay 3-0 tonight, and I believe the Royals ran out a rookie pitcher who had a no-hitter going. Right? I'm just trying to see. Did it finish a no-hitter?
No.
No. Right. But they got good pitching from Noah Cameron, and the Royals went on to beat the Rays 3-0. So that means, as we take a look at the standings in the American League East, as he calls up the standings, the Yankees are 18-13, and the Red Sox are 17-15. That's what Barker. 18-13, isn't that what 18-13 is what you wanted the Jays to be? Absolutely. Anyhow, the Yankees are 18-13, Red Sox 17-15. The Rays are 14-16. The Jays are also 14-16, and Baltimore is 12-18 with that win. They are 3-7 in their last 10. The Jays are 2-8 in their last 10 games. And there you are, Kevin. Before you go back to the phone lines, you made an interesting point about that seventh inning, and obviously Anthony Santander's home run, the big hit. But you talked about Vladimir Guerrero's single in front of Tony Taters, which kept the inning alive and brought him to the plate.
Yeah, 119-mile-an-hour single. Also, too, because we, are doing this show in a hockey country, and I think hockey fans would love this. David Popkins did get tossed in the fourth inning. They start doing all their scoring in the sixth inning.
After
think that had anything to do with it? Well, yeah, and, it's like get the boys fired up. How many calls have we gotten on our show going, don't be afraid to get the boys fired up?
Yeah.
So let's blame David for this win.
Well,
look, I think that's... it takes a village sometimes to win. And with 2 outs, dude has to have a good at bat. He didn't try to do too much, put his A swing on it. He hit the dickens out of that ball. I mean, 119 miles an hour. I'm not a khaki, but that sounds about as hard as you can get a single to left. So, you got to do things, right, to get certain guys to the plate with a certain amount of people on base. And when you do, it gives that guy a chance to be his best. And I don't think we should have forgotten that, right? It was fun watching Vladdy go airborne at third and get hit in the backside. It's more fun to watch him get 119-mile-an-hour singles.
Speaking of that, John Schneider was asked about Vladdy's base running.
Shenanigans.
In the 10th, when you saw Vlad tag there, like Rafael is obviously playing that a little bit nonchalantly. Like, what did you see? What's your thought? What's your thought as he takes off?
It's the right play, with nobody out. We were kind of screaming at him to go back and tag initially. I think he kind of wandered a little bit, and he did the right thing. Rafaela can throw. We know that, but I think Vladdy did the right thing there, and I'm glad that. His lower half is as big as it is, and I don't know if it hit that or his foot, but good genetics and a good bounce there. But it was the right base running play for sure.
Yeah, it's certainly. And Kevin, you made this point.
Yeah.
The Jays. This is a day where the Jays' best hitters, or the guys who have to be the best hitters, contributed to a win, and that, however, by hook or by crook, however they do it, balls bouncing off their ass or their feet, whatever. It just feels good.
Yeah, I think seeing your best player slide into third, act like he acted right, getting all fired up and sort of doing that towards his dugout. Look, sometimes it's eyewash, I think, in this case, just because of the way the Jays lineup has looked. I mean, basically, it's been dead and missing in action for how long. And just to see your best player playing as hard as he was, right? I mean, he sort of misread the thing. He sort of forgot where he was at, where he should have been, where he was trying to get to. It's better late than never, I guess, is the old saying. But I just think the whole situation, I said this, if not now, when, right? I mean, it's time for these guys to start looking like they belong, right? Do you want to compete in the East or not? It's up to you. I mean, I've said this. Stop blaming the manager. Stop blaming the coaches. Blame the players, right? It's up to the players to go out there and get it done. And tonight, I think for the first time, actually, they all did their part, at least the people that were supposed to be doing their part, and they got it done. And hopefully they can build off that because, again, it is a lot of confidence. Like, you just put your clothes on, go into your car a little differently. Like, that thing just slides on, boy, instead of you having to jump up and down to get it on. It's a bad feeling when you have to do that.
What are you talking about?
Well, when everything's go right, you're hitting, you're sliding, you're winning.
Clothes go on better?
Absolutely they do. No question. Shoes fit better. Socks put themselves on. It's great.
All right.
It's true.
There was kind of a funny moment in the game as well.